Hey, Internet, we're back. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to our bi-weekly RPG. We are playing in the system Monsters of the Week, and we are rejoined by our wonderful cast of role players. I am Allison, I'm the GM, and we are just so excited to see you all here. We are going to pick up where we left off on our last episode, so if you missed last week's and you're joining us now, you will be able to catch up with context clues, but you can always see the VOD on the YouTube channel if you'd like to fill in the details. We have apparently Winter Wonderland backgrounds happening, which is appropriate because our story takes place in an Arctic winterscape in a real life location, Svalbard Seed Vault, which stores all of the world's seeds in case of an apocalyptic event. So every country has their flora represented in this vault and kind of stored away. In our game, we have a team of monster hunters known as E.D.E.N, and that stands for the Extraterrestrial, De-escalation, and Erasure Network. Some of them are a little more tried and true professionals than others. Some of them are new to the role. But regardless, they are all tasked with a mission. E.D.E.N told them that they're interested in getting some seed samples from Amsterdam that were submitted to the Seed Vault. There are some anomalies, there are some questions about perhaps they had been tampered with, and E.D.E.N needs to have these seed samples returned to the larger organization. So that is kind of where our team is currently. But in the midst of investigating or attempting to get it back into the Seed Vault, they have run into some curiosities. One being that they found out that folks had been drowning, apparently, in the ice up by the ice fishing area. But upon investigating, the team found that the ice seemed pretty sturdy. And they actually found a pipe underneath the ice that appeared to be some sort of tunnel leading to the Seed Vault. They also heard about sightings, but were unable to find out more information and instead revealed some of their own identity to the person in question. So we left our heroes, I believe in the tunnels. I think you guys were in the tunnels, kind of behind the public-facing part of the Seed Vault, and you had just heard a scream. But before we dive into the story, like any good show, we have a what do you call it, introduction, credits rolling scene. So we're going to kind of have the credits roll on our story and begin us off with some special footage from E.D.E.N's recruitment tapes. Because I'd love our players to introduce themselves and then also their characters for you all. So we'll zoom into these recruitment tapes back in the day to see kind of what these characters presented to E.D.E.N to get this job. So why don't we kick it off with our character, the professional, Matilda. What do we see as the grainy footage kind of comes into focus and we hear the static of the video start?
I think her video is probably from like the 90s. And you see her in front of a white wall just kind of shifting nervously. She's young. She's a lot younger than you see her normally. She'll just be like, applicant 1-6B, first name, Insu Park, date of birth, February 6, 1977, graduate, Harvard Law, MBA, University of Pennsylvania, applying for administrative work, very good attention to detail, very good at time management, and very good at communicating. And it will just kind of and you'll see like the camera kind of falls over and she has to like pick it back up. Thank you for your time. She'll kind of fumble to turn the video to make it stop.
Love it. As the fumbled video kind of statics into the next video, we see the Flake, JD, Janet. What does your video look like?
Yes, so you'll see a woman with huge frizzy red hair and just like a bunch of weird little doodads and necklaces that she's wearing. It looks like chicken bones and like maybe like a dog chew toy or something, like all kinds of random bullshit. And you'll see her filming with like a really old VHS camcorder. Applicant number redacted, date of birth redacted, degree redacted, applying for the role. Oh, I'm not allowed to say just redact. Okay. Applying for the role of E.D.E.N. agent. Janet Donahue, PhD, senior serial scientist. Checking in. Is that... How do I turn this off? Is that the button? And then it sketches out.
I love it. I'm really questioning Eden's hiring process for both of you. As it kind of fades into the next video, we see the crooked art. Art, what does your video look like?
Yeah, so it's, again, kind of, it's much more recent footage than the other two, apparently. It looks like it was it almost looks like it was filmed here, just kind of in the back of the van. You'll see, like, some of the equipment in the back. Okay, so, kind of looking off behind the camera. So, just before I say anything, can't be prosecuted for anything I say here, right? Just... okay, good. I'm not sure why I need to do this. I'm just a consultant, who occasionally helps in the field. Yeah, occasionally. I am specialized in, well, to be frank, manipulating people and getting them to do what I want. I am very good at getting in and out without anyone questioning why I was there in the first place. I I don't know. Do I need to get into my past really here?
You see the camera just kind of like shaking back and forth.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm good at. You know why I'm here, ish. And this is all really just formality. So.
With that,
the tape cuts.
You see the interviewer like just pressing the button slowly to cut it. And that goes into Manuel, the Mundane. What does your video look like, Manuel?
Yeah. So probably opens up with Manuel kind of standing awkwardly in front of. You can tell it's like inside a Svalbard. There's like just this like gray cement wall behind him, and he's kind of looking past and is like, hi, my name is I'm Manuel. I'm not really sure what this is, but I work here at Svalbard as an electrician, and I guess it was either helping out you guys or getting my memory wiped, and I picked up the first one because I don't know, there's some weird stuff going on, and I figured I should help out with that. I guess, yeah, so Manuel, electrician, 25 years old. Is that good? That's good? Okay.
As the final static comes onto the screen, we see the title Monsters of the Week appear in like a kind of icy looking font with like crackling ice running down all of the letters, and it shatters in a over budget effect that then transitions into our show, where you see these agents that we just saw their beginnings with the agency. They're now in the middle of the work with the agency, in the middle of Svalbard, to be precise. They are in a dark hallway that is lit with only some fluorescent lights that are kind of swinging almost listlessly above head in this long tunnel that extends through a mountainside. The entrance to this space was in not open air, but like the building was, as buildings are constructed, on the surface of the world. But as you go deeper and deeper into the building, the tunnels go through the mountain. There are no windows. There's no fresh air. It's just cold, icy Arctic. You had all recently encountered a few folks in this area. You had an encounter with Elsa, the front desk woman. You also met Harry, ? Harry sounds right. Yeah, this is the beauty of a bi-weekly game. Harry Reynolds, the research assistant. You saw their little inter-office romance. But now you find yourselves in this dark hallway, and the sound of a scream is piercing the air. It is stark in the cold air, and I believe you all froze frame, like kind of like running into action. So, monster hunters, you do see the cafeteria to your right, offices to your left, and then at the end of this hallway is a very official looking door. And you know this to be the entrance to the seed vault area itself. And it is very well guarded. You need a badge to enter this kind of detox area. And then beyond that is the seed vault. And you know that the sound is coming from back there. What do you do, monster hunters?
Manuel is just running towards wherever the scream came from.
Is the door locked?
Do I know where?
Yes, you know it's coming from behind this large door. You need to badge in, but from all of your surveillance and work within this building, you know it's quite a process to get back there. The seed vault area is like the heart of this building, so it's possible that you will encounter many people on your way, like past this door.
Agent Jones, Matilda, we see her now is like 20 years older than we had seen in the earlier footage. Her face is all scarred, her hair's in a tight bun, she's in a suit. Inexplicably, she's wearing mirrored aviators, even though it's probably quite dark where we are. And she's got a big knife that she's just like pulled out of a holster on her back. And she'll kind of do like the thing where she's like striking a pose to like kind of keep everybody back, and she's like listening. And can she do like a read a bad situation?
Absolutely. Yeah. Why don't you roll that as you're looking at this through your aviators? So roll plus sharp.
And she is a tactical genius, so she can actually roll cool instead of sharp.
Awesome. Hence the aviators, right?
Hence the aviators. Well,
12.
We should go figure out what's going on back there. We should go see what's happening.
As JD kind of supports your assessment of the situation. We lost your cam.
Oh no.
Oh.
Are you still there, Alex? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Oh, we might have lost her.
Oh no.
Oh.
Technical difficulties.
And we're-
Please stand by.
Got her.
Everyone's gotten shifted too.
Oh, I guess she's back.
Oh no, suddenly I'm Art.
We can't hear you anymore, though. Can you hear us, though? Okay, I'll resolve your roll. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what happened. You just kind of blipped out on us. But yeah, so as Matilda is looking around and assessing, you blasted through that roll. So you have a 10 plus, so you get to hold 3. Now, as a reminder, you can ask them all kind of rapid fire in your assessment, or you can kind of parcel those out as you find more clues as you're assessing. So it sounded to me like you were looking around and kind of honing in on this sound. If you can get your mic up, yes, maybe. Oh no, we can't hear you.
Check your Discord input settings if you haven't already.
So weird.
Yeah.
This is where we really need like the Benny Hill music, whatever that.
We need the technical difficulties screen.
Yeah.
Wait, Allison, whose name am I under right now? Because our videos are all shuffled.
You are Manuel. Congratulations.
That's right.
Our new GM is Art. Oh no. Art's gonna take us down a life of crime.
As an electrician, this seems like an electrical problem.
No, it's okay. I'm Art now.
Alex, I see your box lighting up. It's so weird. Yeah, it's better now.
Oh,
Excellent.
I don't know what happens. My computer just, I don't know. I'm really sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
We're glad you're back. Your mic sounds like you're from the
Mic is-
1980s, but you're here.
Thematic. Sounds like you're over the radio.
Yeah.
Let me try a headset.
We can hear you though.
I'm so sorry, Townsend. I have no idea what just happened.
No, you're all
Well-
good. Discord is a fickle mistress. All right.
Okay.
So how are you?
Alright.
You've got a hold 3, which is stellar. What are you doing? What is Matilda doing to kind of read this situation, and what questions would you like to ask? Oh no, we lost you again, girl.
It's the headphones. It's totally the headphones.
You gotta switch your input again.
Oh my god.
Oh, we got you. We got you.
Hey,
That-
hello.
Yeah. Are you on your phone?
I have no idea what's going on.
I think we might be getting phone audio. The phone might be getting your audio, so when it's closer to you, we can hear.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
It's gonna ruin your posture for the next week.
I know. I'm in my 30s. It's fine. It's already.
Oh, and there it goes.
Oh my god, what is happening here?
Matilda, Agent
Okay.
Agent Jones.
Agent Jones is cool as a cucumber. She is not sweating profusely right now like I am.
Don't worry, you are all good. This is our game, and everyone just gets to watch us. So we even got a follower from the shenanigans. So thanks for following with our shenanigans. We appreciate you. But yes, you're all good. No worries at all.
Okay, so she is definitely looking around. She, I think, probably knows that the lock will be hard to bypass without a badge, but sometimes I think she likes to watch the lockpicking lawyer on YouTube. And so she knows that she just has to find the weakest part. It doesn't necessarily have to be the lock. So she's kind of looking around, like, can they like drill through a wall? Is there like a vent somewhere? So she's asking herself, what's my best way in? I think she's also listening for other sounds besides the screams. So she's asking herself, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Would you like the
And-
answers to those first, or would you like to ask your last question?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as Agent Jones is assessing this, the best way in is probably with one of the scientist badges to get into this back area that they can just scan right in. As far as other ways in, tunneling is a possibility. You are inside a mountain. However, the ice looks very thick, as well as very sturdy rock all around you. But it is possible. So you're kind of scanning and assessing that. What are there any other dangers we haven't noticed? As JD says, like, we've got to like get back there. You hear JD's voice kind of echoing in this tunnel, and you're kind of tuned into sound in that moment, and you hear a clanging in the walls, like a metallic clanging sound. And it is kind of positioned, well, it's in the wall, so it's hard to tell, but it's kind of positioned towards the door where you heard the scream.
So to confirm, it's not on the other side of the wall. We think it's in the wall.
It sounds like it's coming from the wall with like the resonant echoes.
Okay. I guess the third question. I don't know that she cares about the victims. Oh, it's not the mission.
You know how we saw the people disappearing, though? But what if there are people? I just should see if they match. Do you recognize the scream?
That's a good question. I guess maybe the third question can be what's the. I feel like you answered that. What's most vulnerable to me?
And how do you feel like Matilda's assessing that?
I think maybe she's doing like the sort of Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes type thing, where she's like not an actual heads up display, but she's like running little mini simulations about like if we get the scientist and we go through here and we see this clanging, this is what will happen. Or if we open the door, Manuel just runs in and something jumps out of the walls. So yeah, I think she's just trying to like run through the different scenarios.
And you want to know what's vulnerable to you?
Yes.
Okay. So in this assessment, I mean, all of these years of training are coming back to you. And you actually kind of clock a moment in your past when you and now director Mendez were going through kind of a module of a similar situation. And you remember trying to show up Mendez in that moment. And you're really honed in on all of those strategies that you had practiced, mostly to show up Mendez back then. But now it might be life or death. So you're able to assess kind of with your scanning of the area that what is most vulnerable to you. And the way I'm reading that question, correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is a question about like where's your advantage? Is that how you guys
Yes.
read that too? Okay.
Yeah.
What's most vulnerable to you is probably the fact that you are staff. So it's plausible that you could create a reason for needing to do something in these areas. The vulnerability is that you have been really well ingrained in the staff system here, and even worked a fair share of overtime. So even though you're not supposed to be back there, it's possible that you can go unnoticed if you gain access. That's probably the biggest vulnerability in this situation. And if that's not the flavor of what you're going for, let me know.
No, that's perfect. And just to confirm, we know that Harry and Dr. Malin have badges, as well as the security guards, Fresno and Carla.
Yes.
Those are the ones we have. Okay. She'll relay all this to the team.
Well,
Is anyone
maybe we
else?
should.
I'm so sorry, Manuel. Go ahead.
Oh, maybe we should. I mean, that's what security guards are for, right? Maybe we can not get one of them to scan us in.
That's a good
Oh.
idea. Yes. I'm surprised you're not coming. That scream was so visceral.
Can I take a look around to see if there's anyone nearby?
Yeah. As you look around, you see people in the cafeteria are frozen. Like they're like, well, not literally. I guess I should clarify. This game could happen. They're frozen in fear. So they have their forks up to their mouths and they're just like looking around, like, what the, like kind of mouthing that. Lot of staff in there and not a lot of people who take action. So they're just kind of like, what is happening? The office door to your left is closed.
I think Manuel will kind of poke his head in the cafeteria and be like, "You guys heard that, right? I think it came from the seed vault. Can anyone help like scan us in? We should go and like help out. Make sure they're okay."
I would say do a manipulate someone roll. I kind of use manipulate someone as like a loose persuasion sometimes. And I'd like you to use your charm to see if you can get these folks to respond to you. Because this is above and beyond the call of duty to step into a scary situation.
All right. Let me figure out what my stats are real quick. Got 9.
A 9?
A 9.
So on a 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them to show that you mean it. So one person who had kind of like had a soup spoon like frozen like in midair, like just like what the, like kind of just shakes their head and throws the spoon down on the table and says, "God damn it, you're right," and stands up. They're wearing a lab coat as well, but it seems to be of less stature than the one you saw Harry wearing. So kind of more of like a lab assistant vibe. They have some vials in their pocket. Seems like they maybe like be filling up samples or just kind of assisting in the scientist's work back there. But this person stands up. They have kind of like spiky hair. I'm thinking like frosted tips, like maybe like that trend hasn't quite faded out in Svalbard. It's a little behind the times. Stands up, has I guess like you see poking through the lab coat sleeve, like a full sleeve of tattoos, like going down to the wrist and like kind of over the hand. Presenting male, just kind of like, "God damn it! I'm sick of everyone being so scared around here. Yeah, I'll help. Whatever." He just goes over to you, Manuel, and he's like, "Just don't tell anyone that I gave you clearance because I'm not really on like full payroll and I kind of have a few like demerits against me. So, but yes."
I mean, I won't tell anyone. I mean, yeah. I take a glance around the entire cafeteria.
Everyone is just like, someone like finally like just takes the sip of the soup, like.
But it's like, okay, I won't tell anyone.
Great. And he looks up at the security camera flashing in the corner with like a little red light. Great, this will be fine. This hasn't bitten me before. What's your name,
It's
man?
okay. I'm Manuel. I'll stick my hand out.
He shakes your hand. He has like a bunch of rings on all the fingers, and the vials clank in his pocket with the gesture. He's like, "I'm Stu. You can call me Stu, baby.
Stu. Okay, Stu.
Stu, baby."
I hope your code is just Stu.
Stu, baby. It's like, we got a thing now. Like, it's fine. Informal camaraderie. We're in this together, man.
Yeah, Stu, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go save someone's life.
For science.
Science.
He goes over to the door, looks around again, sees the cameras up in the corners, and he's like, "Ah!" And he like just kind of does one of those like, "Nah," like, "Whatever, dude," kind of look up at the camera and takes his badge and purposely swipes you in. The door in front of you opens. It's again one of those big like interlocking metallic doors that opens with a hiss, and like kind of the steam comes out as it depressurizes. The doors open, and you see the cleaning chamber. So before you can go back into the seed vault, you guys have to be detoxed, and then you have to put on kind of like a specialized parka that you can wear back there. Still for warmth, but none of the germs from outside that could potentially damage the seeds. There does not seem to be any sign of struggle in this area, but you do see a door kind of on the other side of this little airlock, similar door that can be swiped open as well. Stu Baby just kind of strides in and starts, you all have to come in too because there's like these little jets on the wall that like spray you down. So do you follow him in?
Yes. As we go in, Allison, are any of the parkas missing?
As you look at the wall, you do see hooks for, how many would there be? 3 parkas that are missing off of the wall.
Do we still hear the screaming?
You do not.
Great. I'm sure that's great.
However, as you listen, you do hear that faint echo of a clang within the wall, but it is much further away.
She'll kind of turn to Stu Baby. I'm very excited for our Malpunk sequel. It's going to be great. But yeah, she'll turn to Stu Baby and be like, "Do you hear that clank often? Is that a normal clanking sound that you hear back here?"
as you ask the question, he ushers you in, the doors close, and the room fills with just like it just smells like you're inside a Lysol wipe. Like everything is just like, psh, like lemony fresh steam is just enveloping all of you as Stew Baby kind of coughs as he responds and it gets into his lungs a little bit. I mean, more recently, yeah, like I thought it was just the pipes being weird. And I was like, man, we gotta like clean up these pipes and then like, safety, OSHA, all that good stuff. And the doc was like, don't worry about it, man. So, it's probably just, another thing that I'm not gonna get comped for because I'm not on full payroll,
Doc is in Dr. Malin.
Yeah, the doc. Man, she's like, she's the boss back here. Whatever she says goes. She's super famous. Her research is like blowing up.
And the electrician, would I have any idea where that sound could be coming from within the walls?
Interesting.
Like,
You probably helped. You probably had access to maps of the construction of this place. Yeah, I would say, to your knowledge, the only thing that goes through the walls is the ventilation, the metal vents, and probably the wire conduit pipes. They had to drill those through the stone to put them into different rooms of this building that's kind of built within the mountain itself.
gotcha. I'll say, yeah, it's probably the ventilation. Whatever it is, probably small at least, if it can fit through there.
Oh man, you think we got like an infestation? As he like coughs out more of the lemony freshness.
Oh gosh, I hope not. That sounds like it'd be a pain to deal with.
Think it's rats? Hate rats.
Oh, I think their reputation is largely undeserved. You'd be surprised.
You're pro rat lady?
Oh, I am a pro rat lady.
He just kind of looks at the three of you for the first time as though like just noticing that you're in a big group, and he's like, wait a minute, who are you people?
Well, I'm the stew lady, stew baby, and this is stew lady too, and the intern.
Oh, nice to meet you. I thought I recognized you. You're the one that made that really slammin' chowder the other day, didn't you?
That's right. You don't want to know the secret ingredient.
Is it rats, man? Don't tell me.
No, children's glue.
He, for a moment, looks relieved and then looks horrified again.
Yeah, that's valid.
As you guys are talking, you have been detoxed. There are parkas there for you to place on over your now clean clothes. As soon as you have them on, they have the Svalbard seed logo on there. So like the little round brown seed that actually was kind of enveloping the front welcome desk as well. It's their official seed logo. So you have that there. You also have kind of like a big furry hood, lots of pockets and things on this coat for, there's like a big one on the inside for like a clipboard and papers. So like clearly this has been outfitted for use in a professional setting, but it's also very thick and you kind of have that like bulkiness to you of a kid in a snowsuit. As the door opens, as you're all outfitted, it slides open again. And this time you are faced with the hallway into the seed vault storage area itself. The walls look like the inside of a freezer in this area. Your breath is just pouring out into the cold air and you can see it kind of puffing out like smoke. It's like that freezer burn effect of just like hard ice crystals that coat the floor and the walls. And you see a door that leads back into the storage facility itself, and it's flanked by two guards. You know those guards to be our good friends. Fresno.
Carla and Fresno.
Yeah, Fresno and Carla. And they are standing there. Fresno and Carla both have also these parkas, but their parkas are a little bit more militant. They have, instead of pockets and things for vials and papers, they have many different, there's like a taser, there's like a flashlight, a gun. Like they're kind of outfitted for combat potentially or protection of this area. So you can tell that they're different as well because they're kind of like a dark gray coat color. They're standing there in front of the door that is, again, kind of coated with ice crystals. And in front of the door is a woman, and her shoulders are shaking, and she's weeping, and she's just pointing at the wall. Tears are streaming down her face, and they're freezing, and they're kind of just like crystallizing and cracking off of her face. Her hood is pulled up, so you can't really see her face, but she's just racked with sobs. The two guards are kind of just standing there impassively, like with the look of like, we see this going on, but we can't be like dissuaded from doing our jobs, but they're listening intently. And in front of her is another woman. She has long red hair. She kind of has like a hooked nose with like little spectacles that are square that kind of rest on top of this nose. She has big, full red lips and like a very like stylish mole, like right on the cheekbone. And she has a clipboard out, and she's furiously taking notes. And she occasionally like sucks on the tip of the pen to get it like ready again, and then just begins to write even more furiously. And that is what you see as you enter this area.
Do we recognize them? We must recognize them, right?
You recognize the guards. The woman who's crying, you don't see her face yet. She's got the hood up. You do not recognize the redhead.
Manuel runs over and is just like, "Oh my God, we heard a scream. Is everyone okay? What's going? Are you okay there?"
The woman looks up at you, the crying woman, and you recognize her as another one of the junior level lab aides, similar to Stu Baby in rank, at least. She has like curly hair, olive skin. Her eyes are just full of tears that are just like freezing in her eye itself, and she kind of blinks and they crunch away. She's like, "It was horrible. It was horrible. You'll believe me, right?
Of course.
There was something in here. And it was in the vent, and it looked at me and it had." And she's interrupted by the redhead, and she's like, "Can we stick to the facts, please, ma'am? I only want to record the facts."
I'm sorry, who are you?
"I'm sorry, who are you? Name, position, weight, age, hometown." She's like ready to write all of this down.
Agent Jones will pull out her own little, I think we decided she has a very old iPad. And she'll start ticking on it and be like, "I don't have to reveal any of that to you. We're here to help."
"Well, I can't help you unless you tell me the facts. I'm here for the facts and only the facts. This lady's full of crock. But if you tell me some facts, maybe I could make a story out of this."
And she'll turn to the security guards and be like, "Is this media? Did you let media?"
She had clearance," says Fresno.
God. Okay. Well, whatever she's saying, it's clearly what the facts she knows are. It's not like, if she's not telling you it, she probably doesn't have any other information.
The truth is, this is a load of crock. There's no story to be had here whatsoever. This woman is clearly deranged from hanging out in a room that is minus 18 degrees Celsius. So just be on your way, take your very cute little lipstick and your mole and go elsewhere.
Well, of course there's a story here. It's just, you gotta get to the bottom of it. And you get to the bottom of it by asking questions. So I'll get all of your names, birth dates, blood types very soon. But for right now, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. So if you'll excuse me, and she kind of butts in front of you, Manuel, and says, as you were saying, Dia, if you could just tell us a little bit more about
Man,
what happened here, but stick to the parts that aren't full of supernatural craziness.
Manuel will kind of push himself back in front of her and kind of crouch down. Oh, is she standing? Is she crouching? Like get on eye
They're both
level.
standing.
Okay. Walk up and try to be like, I'm sorry, what's your name? I'm Manuel, and I promise whatever you say, like, I'll believe you. Um, but and also, I mean, do you want to talk to this lady? Is
She's almost inconsolable, but she hones in on your friendly face. I I don't want to talk to her necessarily, but I I need to get help. I need help. I saw something horrible and she doesn't believe me and I don't think the doctor's going to believe me either, but I don't feel safe anymore.
me and my friends are here to help, and I promise you that we will believe you. We've seen some weird stuff going on here, so we we might know what's going on. We might be able to help.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And as she like opens her mouth to open up to you, the redhead kind of steps in front of you again, Manuel, and does a little like, anyway, this is what I came here for. So if you're ready to talk, I'm ready to listen. And she's just trying to like box you out of the conversation.
I think Manuel is like
Never got
getting
your
into a bit of
name.
a shoving match with her and be like, listen,
Yeah.
you don't, it doesn't seem like she's someone who really wants to listen to your story. And like, you don't have to talk to her if you don't want to. Is she bothering you? Um,
While Manuel's trying to do this, while Manuel's doing this, Art will also come up and be like, "Hey, I don't think I got your name, but here, I actually have an idea of what actually happened. I actually have access to the cameras. I was able to see what happened here, and I'll try and kind of drag her away.
Why don't
Just
both of you roll? I would say let's roll act under pressure. Um, actually, yeah. One of you can helm this, and then if help needs to happen, we can do help. But I kind of want to see how well this is gonna go. So go ahead and roll plus cool,
I
whoever's
was more
helming.
trying to manipulate her, being like, "Hey, talk to me, not her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I saw what happened."
Yeah, no, totally. And she's interested. I just kind of want to see how the other lady's gonna react. So yeah, if someone could roll plus cool.
Art, do you want to help this? And then I can try
I
to.
can helmet. I am a skill monkey. I have.
Art
I'm good
seems
at
cooler than
most.
Manuel.
Well, yeah, but that's because I devoted a lot. That's the only thing I can do. I do not have any fun extra abilities. I just am really good at doing moves, the basic moves. That is a 8.
An 8. So an 8 is a success. You have a hard choice. So the choice is that Manuel's kind face and demeanor and Art's lie, very like clever lie, has convinced her that she needs to get away from whoever this lady is and talk to you guys. The hard choice is that she will want to see the security footage at some point in order to keep trusting you from here on out. So you'll get her trust on this initial moment, but in order to have her as an ally, you will need to produce some kind of evidence.
I just wanted to leave this person alone for a few minutes so we can talk.
Easy
So
choice.
I'm perfectly fine with that outcome.
Yeah. So she's a temporary ally is how you can categorize her. So she looks at both of you and she's like, okay, I would love to just get a little more clarity because now I'm trying to remember and I kind of feel like maybe I didn't see what I saw. And the lady's like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. People change their stories.
Manuel would be like, don't listen to her. Okay, whatever you saw, and it was real.
Thank you. Oh, maybe here, come with me. We can talk in the lab and I don't want to be alone. The doctor and Harry are on break and I just don't want to be alone back there. And Stu Baby in the background's like,
Of course.
what about me? Don't I count? She's like, Stu, I don't need you right now. This is a very traumatic moment for me. So
Aw.
she swipes you into the keypad that's on this frozen door. It literally looks like you're walking into the side of a freezer with like 2 feet thick of like freezer burn and ice and just like crunchiness all along the walls and doors. And although the badge swipes in, it's kind of a little bit of a tugging fest to open the door. And you see the 2 guards look, and they can easily help. They're very like muscular people, but they just watch her struggle as she's trying to open the door. Clearly not their job. They just kind of shift. Fresno yawns, and Carla looks at him like, oh God, I hate this guy. They have kind of a little bit of a dynamic. But as a door opens, the woman kind of stumbles inside the lab. The lab setting is pristine, white, sterile. There's microscopes everywhere. The tables have little silver stools in front of them. The equipment has been sized to be able to be worked with big gloves. So things are a little bit oversized or like weirdly placed so that you can hit things with gloves and without having to remove your gear. But as you guys follow her in, the redhead also tries to follow behind you.
I will try and pull her away and like, okay, you want to know what happened? I'll tell you, and I'll just launch into this extremely detailed description that is complete bullshit. Like,
How
explaining every last detail.
how long do you want to engage with her out here? Are you distracting her for the entire course of the conversation on the interior?
Yes, I am just trying to keep her away from a scientist lady.
Okay.
That I don't think has been named yet.
Nope, neither of these characters have been named yet. Okay, so we will have a scene then with you and the redheaded media personality. So I think we'll cross cut to you guys in a second. We'll kind of go back and forth a little bit on these 2 conversations. Stu Baby is going to stay out there with you as well. You kind of see that Stu Baby is vibing with you a little bit, Art, and has kind of tried to like emulate your posture and your gestures. It seems to be taking some cues from you. So we'll have the 3 of you out there. In the interior of the lab, we'll start in this conversation as Matilda, JD, and Manuel follow the crying lab aide into the room, and the door closes behind you as the redhead is like whirled around and starts to talk to Art outside. So the door closes on them. The woman slumps down in the stool and like starts to look around like just a little bit nervously and says, you've seen some weird things. You won't make fun of me?
No, oh, not at all. Zero, but come here. Do you need an additional parka? You seem like you're really stressed.
I'm so stressed. I am. I've been working late hours with Dr. Malin, and I've just been trying to prep all her slides, and I haven't had a lot of sleep lately, so maybe I did make it up, but okay, I swear, I saw something in the vents, and at first I thought it was a person, and I don't know.
It's okay. Start at the beginning.
Why don't you guys roll read a bad situation?
All of us, or just
Whoever's
one
helming.
of us? I probably shouldn't be helming. I mean, I could helm. I'm not.
I could do a +3. Is that?
Take it away, Agent Agent Jones.
You are the leader of the group.
You're the sharps.
And you know
Well,
what?
sharp-
It's still a sharp roll, but I'm reading the different questions. I feel like this would still be investigate a mystery. If that's
Mystery?
yeah, same stat, but I think those questions are more pertinent to this.
Investigate a mystery is sharp, correct?
Yeah, they're both sharp. They just have
Okay.
different flavors.
So her sharp is actually a -1. She was going to read the bad situation with cool instead of sharp.
Well, in that
Um,
case, I can help out here.
That's good.
All right, tell me everything that happened. And she's just gonna take this lab lady's like cold hands and like rub them a little bit like a comforting cafeteria lady, and just like look in her eyes.
A little
So,
good cop, bad cop, kind of push Matilda out of the way.
oh, sorry, not like that. No, would never do that. Investigate a mystery. So that was a 10, and plus the 2, it's a 12.
12.
Nice.
Damn.
Awesome. So on a 12, you get to hold 2 questions, and you can ask 2 of the following questions. So which one would you like to kind of weave into your conversation with her first?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the one to talk about is what is being concealed here, but okay, what happened here? Where did it go?
Okay.
Ooh. Yes.
So what happened here? So she begins to recount that she was taking some slide samples of different seeds that Dr. Mallon is currently working with for her research. So she's kind of plating them and putting them on these glass slides, preparing them. She does this in conjunction with Stu Baby, who she's a little concerned. Like she does a little tangent where she's a little concerned that like Stu Baby is messing up the quality of the work. So she has to work twice as hard because Stu Baby doesn't really take it as seriously. So she has a little bit of a sidetrack there. But she does say that she's been working long hours on this big project that Dr. Mallon is working on. And in her tiredness this morning, she could just kind of glanced up, and out of the corner of her eye, she saw some movement in the room. And Stu Baby had his headphones in and was like jamming out and wasn't really paying attention. So she tapped his shoulder. He didn't really see anything, and he soon checked out for lunch, leaving her alone in the room. So after that happened, she was a little more nervous. She thought maybe there was like a loose animal in the room or something. Some time goes by, doesn't see any movement, and then she hears kind of like a squelching noise, and it caught her attention. So she walked away from her lab station, turned back, and the lab station had been overturned. So the slides and everything had been kind of pushed up as she turned her back. She started to get really scared. And looked where she saw the movement before, and she saw something kind of out of the corner of her eye move up the wall into the vent. She like picked up one of the stools and held it in front of her and walked up to the vent to see what was going on. And she saw what she thought was at first a human face peering out of the vent. But she tearfully explains, but it didn't totally look human. Something was wrong with it. It just looked kind of dead, but alive. And it blinked at me, and it blinked the wrong way. The eyelids went the wrong way, and it just scuttled away. And I was so scared. I just started screaming and screaming.
That's okay. And this is a normal issue with lack of sleep. You're fine. I completely believe this happened. How about you show us your workstation just so we can, help you get it in order? Cafeteria ladies were very good at organizing things. We can help put all those slides back together.
Of course, it's right this way. And she takes you through the rows of tables and stations to a station near the wall where the vent is. The vent is kind of off of its hinge, and it's swinging down a little bit. And you see her station is all overturned. The slides are kind of all thrown up into the air. Glass has shattered on the countertop. But you see where she was working.
We lost.
Alex,
Manuel,
she might be back.
Yes. Okay. Looking at the samples, is she working with maize? Is she working with something that Dr. Janet Donahue would recognize as a senior serial biologist.
Yeah, you see, so you pick up some of the slides, and with your scientific knowledge, you can easily tell she's working with corn, with rice, and with wheat.
Oh, I'd recognize this almost anywhere. I'm a big fan of cereal as a cafeteria lady. This is corn. Where did you say these samples were from?
Well, they're from some of the seeds from the vault. We take some of them, and Dr. Mellon's working with them, so she's working to improve them. It's a big project. We can't really say too much about it, but basically we're adjusting them, making them better for people.
Sidebar DM. In the real world, the Svalbard Seed Vault is not allowed to store GMOs because of like a Norwegian law. Is that true also in this world? Are they breaking the Norwegian law?
It's not true in this world.
It's not true in this world.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
This is
GMOs are
sanctioned
great for
research.
humanity.
No, great question.
That's wonderful. You're doing such important work to make the world a better place.
Well,
Making them bigger corn, I assume.
Well, not everyone thinks so. That reporter was saying it was terrible what we're doing, but I mean, someone's got to save the world, and I really believe in Dr. Mellon's research to do so.
Oh, that's all right. What's your name? My name is Janet, the cafeteria lady.
I'm Phyllis, the lab tech, and partner of Stu. And like it's Stu's name, she just can't handle it anymore.
Let me just close this vent for you. Actually,
Here, I can handle that.
yes, good idea. Maybe Matilda has a device that could help us close the vent more effectively.
Sure, a mundane screwdriver will be able to handle this. I'll probably look around if there's like a stool or something I can drag over and get on top of and start like...
Matilda will use her measuring tool that we established earlier, has like a little laser.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll kind of point the laser around as he's like screwing it in. Be like, lasered shut.
And say what?
It's lasered shut now.
Manuel, it's easy enough to do. So is that still your intention?
No, Manuel will see Matilda pull out the tool and it's like, and he has the expression like, oh, I get it. Right. Maybe Matilda, you can go and like screw in the vent. And does like the very obvious wink at her.
And she will, but she's also gonna kind of look into it a little bit too.
Yeah. JD, do you want to spend your other hold now, or do you want to wait on that? I just don't want to forget about it.
Sorry, yeah, I've never rolled that well at an investigative mystery check. What sort of creature is it actually? Can I do that?
Yes, and I can combine it with what Matilda's doing as well.
Yes, because we don't blinked the wrong way.
So as Matilda is looking into the vent, and JD, you are asking kind of these follow-up questions of Phyllis. I can't remember if I told you her name out loud or not. I'm so bad with names. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I thought you'd be like, who? Matilda, your newly repaired tool, which you hadn't been aware that it was broken before Manuel fixed it earlier, the air quality sensor, as you get close to the vent, it begins to ping that there is a problem with the air in the vent. And it kind of gives you a little readout that says there's a high quantity of spores in the air in this vent. And that it's like hard to breathe the air coming out of this vent.
A high quantity of what?
Spores. Spores. Can you guys hear me?
Spores?
Spores.
Spores, like
with an S.
Spores!
I thought it was like a high quantity of horse, and I'm like, this is about barnyard animals or heroin.
Lot of horse. No, spores.
Spores. Interesting.
Chat says s'mores.
S'mores. I would.
Spores, yeah.
You also
So
see,
what
I'll give you, because you rolled pretty well on your investigative mystery, you see some, like, silks, like corn silks, stuck on the metallic edges of the vent.
Snap a picture with her old iPad for her report that she's going to send back to E.D.E.N. Then, yeah, make a big show about closing the vent.
Phyllis is crying, racked with sobs. We will cut over now to the conversation with Art and the media personality. Art, you have been spinning a tale for the media personality. Any kind of flavor to this tale? Like, what are you imagining that you're talking to her about?
I feel like it's partially, it's mostly interesting, or I should say, it's very factual sounding, but it's like complete, like basically just using big words to make it sound like you know what you're talking about type. Like, yes, she was mixing the dimethyl carbonide with the I don't know.
Love it.
With the science words,
Insert science words here.
Yeah, insert science words here. Exactly.
Totally fine. Yes. So as you're saying that, Stu Baby is kind of like right on your side, and he's like elbowing you, and he's like, yeah, the car, I can vouch for that. That's what happened. Like, he's just really getting into the story and just basically being your hype man. And Art, as you kind of like almost like feel the grift forming with Stu Baby there, you have a flashback of your old partner, Orwell. And the two of you kind of worked in this way too, just kind of like riffing off one another and building the story together. What do you think, just like as a brief flash of memory, you focus on as you think of Orwell? Like, what was the last grift you guys had that didn't bring up any painful memories?
I think it was a relatively simple, just like what's the word I'm looking for?
On scam.
Fencing type deal, where it's like, here are these totally, definitely legally acquired goods. Take them. And just, like, or like, some cheap knockoff, like, artifact
Yeah.
that we built this whole story around how it was found in an ancient temple. And
Love it. And as you finish reflecting on that memory, you kind of see, after a long day of fencing these ancient artifacts all over the city, Orwell closes up a storage shed full of them. They're just lining the walls of the shed, all of this mass-produced artifact, and he just closes the door and looks at you and says, "Great job today, old buddy." And as that memory fades away, you're kind of brought back to the present with Stu Baby, who's not a con man, as far as you can tell, but is really vibing with this. And he is just like riffing off what you're saying. The media personality is writing all of this down. Like, all of it sounds very plausible. You're very good at what you do, Art. And she's just taking copious notes. And she's like, and then what happened?
Well, it exploded, kind of.
Explosions.
It didn't like explode. It like shot out of the thing.
That makes sense. That's why she screamed.
Yeah.
She was talking to me about
Yeah.
some kind of monster, but I don't think that that's, within the realm of possibility, so.
Yeah. It can look weird if you don't, if you're not expecting it. I'm sure she saw that and just,
Man.
saw what she saw.
This really checks out because I heard that they're doing some genetic modifications on these seeds, and it makes sense that they explode. Like something that nefarious, I think, can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't mess with science. Don't mess with nature with science. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave well enough alone. I'm here to expose it. Like, I'm really here to say, like, they talk it up. They talk it up. Dr. Malin, savior of the world, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I think this is the story that's going to take me to the top. Really, really, like, show what's going on down here. All the dangers, all the explosions. How big was the explosion?
It was pretty big. It ended up covering the entire table. Like that.
Stu Baby's like, I wasn't there for that part. I was in the cafeteria, but yeah, that's how that checks out. I mean, I actually don't know how that checks out. It doesn't really stack up with anything that I've been taught in school, but yeah. I mean.
Yeah, it's the GMOs,
Wow, man, I gotta run this past the doctor. I didn't know we were. Wow, man, Art, you're opening my mind here, man. You're opening my mind.
Yeah. Well, is that what you needed, or you got anything else you want from me?
Well, yeah, I think maybe we could schedule another time to talk. I'm staying in town. I'm staying at the inn, Brigette's Lodge. I don't know. It's really cute. It's got like moose heads on the walls and stuff. Very classy. If you wanted to, if you hear anything else about what's going on, I'm writing an expose on this place. Okay, I'm gonna blow it up. That's what's gonna happen. You saw an explosion. You haven't seen nothing till you've seen my article, taking me right to the top. So if you want to go to the top with me there, you're gonna be credited in the story. There's nothing like a good credit.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah. I'll go talk to you after I'm through here. I'm just gonna let her, basically, tell her the facts so that she maybe calms down a little bit, kind of sees what happened.
Well, I'm sure I'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you
you've worked
around.
with people like this before.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. I know it all. I've seen it all, sweetie. But you know what? I think I'll see you around because I'm still going to be investigating, and I might get the scoop. So I'll see you around there. How about that?
Yeah. See you around.
Okay. If you hear anything, you tell me, and vice versa. I can let you. For a co-credit, I can let you know if you're writing something too. Like we can maybe share tips if you have any questions. But it's got to be worth my time.
Yeah. Of course. I'll keep you in the loop.
Okay. Ditto. See you later. She kind of like winks at you. Stu Baby has a similar reaction. Like he like waits for you to react, and then like he just kind of like, that was weird.
Okay. I think I got her off of our back for at least like a few minutes here.
You say this to Stu Baby?
Yes.
He's like, yeah, man, totally off of our back. Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's a scientist. He probably knew that I was bullshitting, right?
Stu
God, please tell me he doesn't.
Stu Baby at first like didn't think that this was possible, and then he is just so impressed with you. He's like, wow, like I'm taking this back to the lab. Like he also thinks he has some great information here.
Alright, well, let's say we go talk with her. Meet up with the rest of my people and
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. You know, I mean, I don't really like being around crying people, so it's a little awkward. I kind of feel a little bit bad that I left Phyllis when she was like all scared earlier, and now she's crying even more. So I hope I don't have to apologize to her. But yeah, totally. Let's go talk to her. You guys entered the lab.
Yeah, all into the lab.
So the four of you, including Phyllis, see the door slide open again. And Art and Stu Baby are standing there. Stu Baby has rolled up his sleeves and exposes his tattoo sleeves on both arms. And you can see on there, there's a lot of like scientific formulas that have been tattooed on his arms. But then there's also a lot of like arcane signs and like conspiracy like symbols. And like, he's a little bit out there with what he considers to be true. And so he like just kind of like stretches and he's like, Phyllis, so sorry about earlier. I hope you're doing better. And Phyllis is like, I feel so unsafe.
Not to interrupt, but I love your tattoos. I actually have a very similar one, but it's right above my butt.
Oh, wow. I mean,
Tramp stamp.
I don't think I can ask to see it. I've been told by HR that that's not okay. So thanks for sharing that. But I'm good.
Totally valid. Anyway, back to this. We were just helping Phyllis clean up. Stu, maybe you could go take her to the cafeteria and get her some hot chocolate or delicious clam chowder.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. That's great. And then I don't have to apologize. Come on, Phyllis. Let's go. He kind of ushers her forward. She, with like the frozen tear streaks down her face, is still looking around. And she's like, just be careful. They said in town that weird things were happening. And I didn't believe them. But now if it's happening here, it's got to be real. Just be careful.
Don't worry. We've dealt with, surprisingly enough, similar things before.
I don't like that you said that. That doesn't make me feel better.
Far away from here. Don't worry. You won't need to worry about other stuff. I mean, first off, we dealt with it. Second off, I guess this is kind of unique, but we'll be fine, is what I'm trying to say here. We'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
I think I'm gonna tell the sheriff anyway. Like, I think he's got to know what's going on up here. What?
Yeah, just don't mention our names to him. We were on the ice. He wanted us off the ice. We didn't get off the ice. You know.
Oh, that's the deputy. Yeah, he was going around town yelling at people. Oh.
Yeah, just...
Yeah.
Don't mention us by name. Like,
okay.
I don't want to get into trouble with him again.
What's that, Memo?
I haven't figured it out. I made a noise thinking I'd figure it out. Get back to me.
She makes similar noises. She's like, okay. I won't mention you by name, but I am gonna tell the sheriff what's going on, and I just don't feel safe, and I don't know how I'm gonna come back to work if I'm so scared. And Stu Basie's like, don't worry, I'll cover all your slides. And she's like, ah! And she just starts to cry even more. The two of them exit.
Be a scientist. It's all right. I'll make sure it's fine. Sleep before you tell the sheriff.
I should wait? You're saying I should wait?
Have a nap first, dearie. You're clearly exhausted. Have a cigarette.
Smoking is so bad for you scientifically.
You know, do you hear my voice? This is this is what it does to it.
Oh no. Well,
Just go lay down.
Oh.
Just go lay down. Ignore them.
I would. Okay.
Maybe take the day off if you can. It seems like you've been through a lot.
No,
Yeah.
we'll vouch for you. We'll say you were, just like, throwing up all over the sample, all the stuff that would get you sent home sick.
Okay, you're gonna lie to my boss?
Yes.
She looks at Stu Baby, and Stu Baby gives her like 2 thumbs up, like, yeah. I don't know. Okay, I guess.
Poor you, baby.
Stu Baby's like,
Matilda.
oh, go ahead, Matilda. No, go ahead.
See, Matilda will be off in the corner, like not participating in the comforting at all. She's like tip-tapping on her iPad, putting the report together. I think she'll reach into her first aid kit and pull out like an Ambien or something and kind of just like toss it over to her.
Phyllis grabs it, puts it under the microscope, analyzes it, and then when she determines that it is safe to take, she pops it. Thank you. That's how science works, guys. That's how science works in this game.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're
Listen.
exhausted. Go sleep.
Listen, there's some weird shit in this world, but it's always the real life details that you're like, hey, that upset people. They're like, that's not, huh? And I'm like, there's a giant monster with 7 heads. You're like, yeah, that checks out. She starts feeling a little bit better. She and Stu Baby exit, and Stu Baby's like, remember, don't tell him I let you back here, and that I left you back here. Totally fine. Stu Baby out. He exits.
Stu Baby is caught completely in our web of lies, and God,
Stu Baby more than life.
I feel so
Hey,
bad.
Agent Jones, is there any chance that E.D.E.N would hire Stu Baby after he gets fired from his current job?
She's tapping. And there's like a quick montage of all the ways he's screwed up in like the past 20 minutes. He's like, absolutely not. She like hits send on her report to E.D.E.N about the monster to see if there's a mission update.
As you send the report, Matilda, a brief comes in from Director Mendez. The first brief that you get has like a little, was that like a pina colada glass emoji? And it's like, yeah, see you there at 7. And then there's like a pause. And then another text comes through and it's like, that wasn't meant for you. You texted at the same time. Then there's another pause. And the third text comes through and it says, good work, agents. The mission remains the same. Please get the Amsterdam seeds. We have reason to believe that they've been tampered with, and we need to understand what's going on over there. And then there's a fourth text and it says, the media is sniffing around. Be careful.
And I can reply, right? This is a two-way thing.
Yeah.
And she'll reply and just be like, to confirm this creature is not part of the mission? Question mark.
There's like a little bit of a pause, and then the text comes back and says, creature, this appears to be biomatter from plants. What is it that you're referring to?
Oh, in her report, she would have listed like all the stuff that Phyllis had explained to her.
Okay, so not just the photos.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She
Okay.
would, yeah. Given a full report of everything Phyllis said.
Gotcha. Okay, so in that case, the reply back says, oh, sorry, was slightly distracted by official reporting happening now. Business, boardrooms. One moment, I'll look at your text. And then there's like a really long reply, or pause on the reply. Clearly, Mendez had not been reviewing your documents very carefully. So then there's another text coming through and she's like, agents, this is highly unusual. Gather more information about this. We must see if these incidents are connected. Then there's a last text and it says, don't F this up.
Okay, Miss Pina Colada.
When have we ever... Okay, we won't do it again.
Agent Jones, do you relay all of that to us?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing to do is to look at these spores. We've got a whole lab here. So, JD is gonna pull on some gloves and like scrape some of the spores onto a microscope slide and like peep at them.
Yeah.
It's already set to ambient settings. which I assume would have to be super strong to see like the molecular structure of ambien.
Yeah. It's a really intense lab. Like there's a lot of cool equipment in this lab.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Very, very strong microscope. We're gonna suspend disbelief there. But she's gonna look at these spores under it and see if she can like identify the spores.
Yeah. You clear out the ambient molecular structure setting, and as it refreshes, you find, looking under the microscope and with your extensive knowledge of grains and cereals, you're able to see that this spore has a lot in common with corn, like what you know to be the molecular structure of corn. You also recognize the molecular structure of human DNA. And you also recognize that there are some pretty severe mutations and breaks in both of these, what would be familiar structures to you. So there's something almost uncharted in this sample.
You guys, this is a really good microscope. It can see DNA.
Yeah, science. That's how science
Really
works.
impressive.
That's science.
Later we should try out some like blood and stuff just for fun. But just this, focusing in on the mission. It looks like there's human DNA and corn DNA, like a human corn baby combined that also made fungus. I'm not crazy.
I mean,
I
that tracks
believe
with
you. This
the
is-
weird face
this
in
is
the
your
vents, right?
wheelhouse. I'm good at pretending to be a scientist.
This is
I
this
mean-
is nobody's wheelhouse. I've never seen anything like this before. Looking through the overturned desk and like putting stuff together. Did she see any papers explaining research? I know Manuel kind of got like a passing look at some papers in the hallway, but could you like actually get a look at some papers?
Yeah, so you can thoroughly search this lab. The longer you stay here, the more suspicion can mount on you. So you let me know from like light, medium to extensive how much time you want to spend here searching the lab.
Light. She's going to read the title of the papers and stick the ones that she likes. Oh no, she's gonna pass the ones she thinks are interesting to Agent Jones and be like, Agent Matilda, take a picture of these.
So the ones you can find with a light search are ones that are already published. So they are some of the titles that you saw earlier that Manuel saw, kind of relating to. I can give you a refresher on those titles.
It's improving starch yields, genetic basics of barley and miracle wheat, promoting rice growth and productivity. I don't know how many of those are titles because my notes, those are all I wrote down.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, those are the paper titles that you see. They are published in journals. They're accessible to the public. You also do, at a cursory search, find reviews of this research. So some are very glowing, and they say like, this is going to save humanity. It will allow people to eat more and get more nutrients with less food. So we can make our food stretch more and kind of save people who are starving. So those are like pro articles. And then con articles are kind of, the titles are like science has gone too far and we don't want mutated food, and just kind of like real detractor type articles that are very sensationalist, but that also have a lot of activism behind them.
I see. Okay.
And they're all kind of clipped in like a scrapbook type file. You know, like all of the shitty ones are like paper clipped together and shoved at the back, and all the ones that are glowing are like kind of framed with like little scrapbook corners.
Steal the shitty ones and look at the names of the organizations that are relevant, see if they're related to anybody that E.D.E.N works with, maybe.
As you look at the detractor articles, you see at the bottom the author is Jericho Jones, and there's a picture of the redheaded woman in like a very like serious pose, like kind of looking up as her professional headshot.
Okay. Shit. You guys, I think we were wrong about that inordinately attractive journalist woman. I think we need to grab some fungicide and go hunting in the vents. Who's with me? Let's go look for the imposter.
Right now?
Well, no better time than the present, my dear electrician.
Okay. I mean, you're the veteran here.
Dr. John, he's correct. Our mission has changed. We'll start gathering up our stuff.
All right, let's be on our way then. So, I guess JD's gonna look around the lab for fungicide.
In the lab?
In the lab.
So you find materials that you know as a scientist can be used to create such a material, but you don't find any ready-made in this lab. So if you wanted to spend some time here, you could potentially create any number of chemical components that you wanted to use. However, the time that you've spent kind of doing the cursory search, you do see Harry coming back to the lab from lunch. And he's kind of striding forward. He's in his science parka, and he kind of gives a nod to the two guards and begins to speak to one of them, kind of indicating what's going on. And you kind of see that conversation happening through the open door. Because I think, did you guys open the door? Whatever, it's open now for purposes of narrative.
Quick, Art, any time, do your manipulation. Go.
Wait, what if we just come back at night?
Okay, or that later. I'm going to and she's gonna start just taking some chemicals for fungicide purposes, just shoving them into the big pocket and the parka, just putting them in there as carefully as she can.
Yeah, you're able to grab a bunch of them. I would say with your science background, you're able to grab the most pertinent ones, the ones that would be hard to find in such a remote setting as this. You're missing a few basic ingredients, but you think those would be pretty easy to pick up in a town.
Walgreens after this. No, someone help me put this desk back together.
Yeah, Manuel will help Rush clean everything up and then announce loudly, well, looks like we helped Phyllis clean up her station. We better go in before anyone gets too upset at us.
Harry.
I wonder where the janitors are. We sure are doing their job for them.
As you guys are saying this cover story out loud, Harry walks into the room and sees you all. He looks a little shell-shocked, and he has his hands kind of on something that he's holding cupped in both hands. And he's just looking a little shaken up, and he just barely registers you guys, but then blinks and he's like, who let you in back here?
Oh,
Is that the full answer?
Well, they asked us not to tell you because they were worried that it would be bad for
Stew Baby. It was Stew Baby.
I can neither confirm nor deny this, but I mean, we heard a scream and Phyllis was really distraught, and so we came over and, well, she's been really overworked, I think.
Yeah.
She had a bit of a breakdown, and we were helping clean up her station after it got all messed up and sent her off to lunch because it seemed like she could really use a break.
I hear that, and the guards told me that she was very upset. Thank you for comforting her. I've got to tell Dr. Malin about Stew Baby. This is a big breach of protocol.
But it worked out okay, and
sometimes things work out okay, but that doesn't make them right.
He meant it was the stew, baby! The one that we served in the cafeteria. We slathered it all over the keycard slot. It just let us in. It's electromagnetic, don't you see? The protons, the photons, and the neurons, and the quarks, they all work together. It just makes sense. See, it all fits together. And I'd like to manipulate someone.
All right. Go for the roll. Plus charm.
And I'm gonna use, normally it's plus charm, I'm gonna use the new move we got during her level up.
Nice.
To use sharp instead, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, it all fits together. Okay, sharp.
Awesome. So using your smarts to manipulate.
It's a 9. Oh, God.
A 9 success.
Can I help?
You can. How are you helping?
So what is JD doing? She's just kind of rambling at him?
I'm using the see it all makes sense move to try to explain that we actually used stew, baby, not stew, baby, to get in to the lab.
Okay, yeah, I think she'll kind of like accidentally like knock some bottles over to half distract him while JD is talking.
I do
so that
need
his attention is kind of split.
I do need an ask from him though too. It's like kind of a persuade move, but it needs some kind of action because the results of the move are always like they'll do it or they won't do it. So what would you like the outcome from him to be in believing this?
I like the ask the outcome to be, oh, they got in with stew, and that's the story that I'm going to believe. Like, as me,
so he won't report it to Dr. Malin.
He won't report stew baby.
Cool.
Don't want stew baby to get in trouble.
Don't want stew baby to get in trouble.
To get it later. Yeah.
Cool. And Matilda, you're helping by being distracting?
By being distracted, yeah, so he's not like reading into
Sure. Go ahead and roll help and see if this works to push it into a full success.
Cool, correct.
Mm-hmm. Seven. So your help grants them plus 1 to... Oh, 11? Nice! Yay! Plus 1, but no consequences.
Hell yeah!
So your manipulate someone roll is now a 10 plus, so they'll do it for the reason you gave them. And if, there's no way that they would do it, they'd say so. But in this case, Harry looks at you and he kind of pauses and he's like, I respect your work, Dr. Donaghy, and I am unfamiliar with the properties of stew in the cafeteria, but if you say that it can do such things, personally, I don't want to eat it anymore. And I also respectfully request that you don't use it to break into the lab. But thank you for letting me know.
No. We just heard a scream and had to help out with you. You should have been here instead of gallivanting with who knows who. We won't tell.
You see kind of like a dull blush form on his cheeks. And he kind of looks off to the side quickly, but then looks back at what he's like clutching in his hands. And he's like, you're right, but I'm glad I was where I was. Something strange is happening here.
What do you have there?
I don't rightly know. I was coming back here to investigate it myself on our very powerful microscopes.
Well, let's put it in a jar. I'm curious.
I found it at Elsa's desk. It was kind of underneath the desk near the heat vent, and I found it very strange. She was a little grossed out, but she was pretending not to be, and I pretended like it was nothing, but I took it back for a sample because I've never seen anything like this before. I see by your amazed look that you're also interested, Doctor.
Yes, I am a woman of science. Hopefully it wasn't one of my cafeteria science projects.
He looks sharply at you. What science projects in the cafeteria?
What cooking is just science applied. You see?
Yes, the stew that can the stew that can melt locks. This is
stew, baby. Show me. I want to see it.
He kind of like with shaking hands, like opens up his hands, and the way like children hold like bugs that they catch in the yard, like he's kind of holding it protectively like that. And as his hands open, you can see that he had taken like some plastic or like some gloves and kind of like laid it on the palm of his hand so that the material isn't touching his hand itself. It's kind of like a pile of pulsating, fleshy substance that like kind of like begins to like squelch and ooze and like shake and shift form slightly, as though it's being prodded or electrocuted, but nothing is stimulating it to the eye. It's fleshy toned, and it has veins of kind of like a putrid white fuzziness kind of running through it. And in certain patches, it has like green boils with like corn silk sticking out of it.
It's the same silk we found in the vent earlier.
Looks very similar, yes. He holds it out to you and he's like, do you know what this is, Doctor?
Do I?
I mean, it's not from the cafeteria, is it?
Oh, no. That's quite the booger right there. That's a very interesting little... You put that somewhere safe. I wonder what that would look like under the very, very strong microscope. It looks almost fungal or cancerous.
Yes, well, I guess we can take a look. Yes, I'll take a sample. He puts it down on the table and takes out like a little scalpel to take a cut of it to put under the microscope. And as soon as the blade touches the material, it begins to duplicate. So the smallest slice on it forms like another small blob next to it, which begins quivering and twitching and growing incrementally next to it. He looks up at you all and says,
Get it in a jar?
Yeah.
I'll like look around for like, I don't know if there are mason jars or something here.
Scientific mason jars.
Yeah, there's some scientific mason jars filled with like a preserving fluid nearby.
I'll grab it. I'm like, do I dump this out? Just like.
No, keep it in. He's just as concerned. Yeah, you're able to get both of the samples into the jar, and as they hit the liquid, they begin to just twist and kind of morph within the jar. The bigger one that had started out in his hands is now kind of the size of like a grapefruit, and it kind of thunks against the glass, making little pinging noises as it hits into it.
Quite the booger indeed.
Why was this near Elsa's desk?
I don't know. You said it was by the vent? By the heat vent?
Yes.
Maybe it's something to... Maybe that's why it was there? It's the heat?
I don't know if we can turn the heat off in this place. It'd be very cold, but if you think there's a problem with the vents, I guess we could.
No,
Oh.
that could have been how it got there, I guess, but I was more referencing maybe it got out somehow and was by the vent because it's hot.
What do you mean it got out somehow? What do you think this
Maybe
is?
Maybe there's some kind of
Yeah, clearly it
infestation in
moved
the
on its
vents.
own.
I know that, you know how mold gets in like vents and stuff, especially if they haven't been cleaned in a while.
I mean, that's Art's
Yeah.
job to clean the vents. Art, have you not been cleaning them?
Listen, I do what I'm told, and I was never told to clean the vents.
Goodness, we're gonna have to come back tonight and help you clean the vents. Good grief. We
Clean
do
them
this
tonight.
every year.
Do you all need to help Art do his job?
Well, clearly he can't do it himself.
There's a lot of vents, and
Art,
it
I'm
seems
very
like
disappointed in you.
I feel like that's a lot of payroll money going towards one thing, but, you know, I'm just a scientist, so I guess it's not my business.
I mean,
He's
clearly,
not there,
if
there's the
staffing is in the vents, you know, it's probably worth the.
Or would you
however
prefer
much.
that this continues coming out near Elsa's desk?
He looks immediately concerned, and he's like, I don't want anything bad to happen to Elsa.
Well, then let us do our jobs.
All right. I'll bring this to Dr. Mallon's attention. Maybe she'll know what's going on.
We haven't met her yet, have we? I don't think we've talked to her.
You haven't, no. All right, well, I'll tell her. And then if she lets me know anything important, I'll relay it to you. Where can I find you? After hours. I mean, you know how we all like see each other at work and then we really just kind of lose track of each other after hours. Like,
Here, let me give you my phone number and you can call me.
oh, sure. He pulls out his phone and you see on the lock screen there's a picture of him and Elsa like going on a winter hike. And he quickly like scrolls it up and enters your phone number.
Cute.
Well, thank you, and I don't know, until we can get to the bottom of this, maybe let's not tell anyone. I don't want to alarm anyone when it's Dr. Mallon's big debut this week.
When is she debuting?
Oh, we're about to publish our new research. The seeds that we're working on. I can't tell you too much, but it's a really big project that's going to help save a lot of people.
Also, while he was typing in Manuel's phone number, Matilda would have been like taking a couple pictures of the jar, the thing.
Yeah.
In the jar.
Do you send those to E.D.E.N? So they're received within a few seconds of receiving them. You get like just a bunch of mashed letters on the text, like blah, 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 like a bunch of like numbers and letters. And then there's a pause, and she writes back, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, your text interrupted something I was doing in real life, and the phone was in an inconvenient. Never mind. Anyway, I'm reviewing the photos now." There's like another pause. The text comes back and she's like, "This is highly unusual and you need to get to the bottom of this. Where is the source of this material?" That's the text you get back. As Harry is, he's explaining that it's Dr. Mallon's big week. He looks to you, JD, and he's like, "Yeah, we're, I really think that this might be the push I need to get my PhD finished. This has like a global scale to it. I mean, did you guys see all of the international ships here for the big debut?"
So I did. So the presentation's tomorrow?
The soft launch is tomorrow, but I think Dr. Mallon is really gonna, do a big presentation just sometime this week. She was a little unclear with me, but I know that we're really talking to a lot of stakeholders tomorrow.
Oh, well, if there's a presentation, we should go. I want to, support the work of the seed bank. I love science. I love working here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine she's going to have like a big unveiling of the research. So she hasn't really shared too many details with me yet, but I'll keep you posted. I'm just very excited. I can't wait for the world to see what we've done.
Oh, yes, it's going to be quite explosive, very dynamic. Good work, Harry.
At the word explosive, he kind of tilts his head and he's like, "I saw Stu Baby talking about explosive materials that certainly can't explode. I'm starting to question if I'm ready for my PhD, Doctor."
Oh, it's a real ride. You'd be surprised at the things that can combust.
Huh.
And I think scientists use explosives sometimes just to mean very cool in a scientific way.
Oh.
So Stu is a very cool guy,
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think maybe he's on the verge of being fired, but yeah, he is quite explosive sometimes.
And also, and I'm very, very explosive myself, so anyways, we should leave.
Well, thank you all for being so explosive. I hope that my research gets really explosive one day too. Well, anyway, where can I find you after hours? I'll just text you and see where you are.
Yeah, just text me. But also you can probably find me at like E.D.E.N, that's where I'm staying.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of tourists do stay there. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll stop by afterwards. I'll check in with Dr. Mallon, see if she has any information for me, and yeah, I'll give you guys an update.
Okay.
Where are you off to next, Monster Hunters?
Should we go to the vent? Should we go to Elsa's desk?
I think so.
What?
When Matilda stuck her head in the vent earlier, how big was it?
It was probably...
Can we crawl in it?
It's like the size that a pretty hefty human could crawl through. You get the sense that they need really powerful ductwork to pipe hot air through a stone-cold mountain. So it's like very industrial venting.
I think we should maybe go outside and like regroup, make a plan for tonight.
You would need a smoke break. I could really do with a doobie-doo in the van.
Let's go to the van.
I love how this has become Scooby-Doo in some element with this band.
We're gonna like rip off the mask of the corn thing. It's gonna be like, Dr. Malin!
She's like, oh, you kids.
If it weren't. Yes, okay.
So you head out of this secure frozen area back through the innards of the seed vault towards the parking lot. As you exit the area, both guards take notice of you, and the one Carla gives you a curt nod and says, looking forward to seeing your clearance the next time you're back here, as you guys leave.
Yeah. So just on the way out, since we'll pass by the desk anyway, I kind of want to... Is Elsa still there?
Elsa is still there. She is kind of just drumming her nails on the counter, and as you get closer, you hear her saying, oh, the city is so full of people. Cities, look at all the people. She's just like practicing to herself.
Sweet Elsa.
Hey, Elsa.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I was just asked to look at the vents real quick. I heard something was going on with yours. I just wanted to check it out, make sure.
Oh, please, by all means. She pushes her chair away from the desk, and as she's, standing up, she's taking care of some of the plants that are in the corner. There's like a kind of heat lamp above this area of the atrium so that she's warm while she's working. So she just begins spritzing some of the plants in the corner while you work.
Yeah, I would just like to take a look at the vent and see if there's anything I would recognize from the vent in the, the stalks of corn or spores.
Roll
or...
investigate a mystery with sharp.
All right. That is a 4.
Oh no. You keeping it?
That was Snake Eyes. You know what? I'll use a luck counter. Why not?
All right. As Art begins to investigate the vent, it's really dark, and the desk is so low that it's hard for you to really maneuver and see what's going on. You realize that you do need to collect evidence, that E.D.E.N is asking this of you, and this could be an important clue. As you focus in on your need to find out information, the coin that is in your pocket that has an arcane kind of devilish symbol on it begins to glow red and pulse with what looks to be blood kind of spilling through the indentations on the coin, and you feel it heat up. As your luck is used, you are able to get a 12 on this roll. However, you feel like the power that you used to spend this luck has brought a little bit of misfortune towards you. You feel in your heart, you're kind of pulled to the person that gave you this coin, or actually that you stole this coin from, Orwell, your old partner. And in a flash, you kind of like see his face, and you remember some memory with him. Something's happening with Orwell, and using this luck, Orwell is now somehow closer to you than he was before. But you are able to pass the roll. So, on Investigate a Mystery, you now have 2 hold. What would you like to know? Oh, actually, do you Yeah, you get the 12. Is it a 12 plus or a 10 plus when you spend luck? I don't remember.
It is a 12.
Yeah.
It counts as if you rolled a 12.
Cool. So you can also ask any question you want about the mystery, not just the listed ones.
All right. Well, I'll ask. Was the corn man here in some form?
So as you look at...
Or I guess something similar to it. Similar enough to it.
Okay, so the entity that you think was in the other room, are you looking for its presence here as well?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're investigating the vent, so the devilish power that kind of surges through you from this coin, you feel the warmth go behind your eyes, and you kind of have dark vision for a second, right? Like it kind of flares up in your eye and your eyes turn red, and you're able to see in this dark space that you couldn't see in before. And it's almost like infrared, like everything is kind of lit up for you, and you can kind of see what's going on in this vent. Because of the intensity, you used a luck point, so we want to make it worth it. Because of the intensity of what you're able to see, you do see corn silk trails and similar. You almost see like the fungus kind of like the spores like in the air. You also see little streaks of blood that kind of are running along the metal vent as though it was like scraped along the sides. So there's like blood trails that go back into the vent. And you also see, hold on, I want to make sure I'm giving you something juicy for your luck. You also see a little bit of, I feel like you would see like the tip of a human finger just kind of like twitching in the back part of the vent.
I will, for my second question, I'll just use that now, and I will ask, what happened here? Kind of putting the pieces together of what I'm seeing.
What happened here?
What happened here?
You can tell, putting together what you saw in the lab and what you're seeing here, that there is a creature that is made up of the parts that you're finding, both human and vegetable in some regard, that is using the vents to travel throughout the facility, and that it can stay out of sight for the most part, but that it does make noise as it moves through the vents.
Okay. All right. Your vent looks fine. Just let me know if anything else happens to it. You know.
Elsa,
About it.
she like lowers the spray bottle and she's like, "What's wrong with your eyes?"
Sorry. Just didn't get great sleep last night. Sorry. Gotta rub them.
As you rub them, the red fades from your eyes, kind of just like dissipates, and you feel the power leave you.
Yeah. Sorry. Just
Oh, that's all right.
need to sleep.
It's understandable. The days are long here sometimes. Everything looks good though. There's nothing terrible down there. I think Harry said, "What the f?" when he like picked something up and he wouldn't show it to me. And is everything okay?
It's just it's probably just a rodent or something that had somehow gotten in.
Oh, you know, people have been talking about the new sheriff. Have you met him yet? I hesitate to say the rumors, but I feel like this is the second or third time someone's mentioned rodents to me. Yeah, have you met him?
No, I haven't. I still need to do that.
Oh, he's he's kind of a rodent person. He's from a place called Port City. I guess there's a lot of like weird arcane folks there. I mean, he's from there originally. I think moved to Texas and now to here. But I mean, people are saying like maybe something's going on with him. A lot of the trouble started when he moved here, and I mean, he is kind of a rat person, so I don't know if there's a rat problem. Do you think he could be behind it? I've heard some people talking, and I don't really want to cause trouble or rumors, but I mean, we've never seen the likes of him in these parts.
Yeah, I mean, probably fine. Just, people being suspicious of the new arrival, especially if they're odd.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. I try to be open-minded, but I mean, he's a rat person, and there's rats here that are causing trouble, and people are seeing all sorts of weird things all over town, like monstrous things. You think it could be him?
Probably not. It's probably just
Right, you're right.
paranoia.
You're right.
It's is it out of character? Is it summer or winter?
Hard to tell. It's always cold here.
Talking about like day-night cycle, because in the summer days are like 20 hours, and in the winter, vice versa.
It's probably on the darker side, though. For the purposes of your gameplay, you won't be impeded if you're doing things during the daylight time, like the daytime, as far as vision goes. But yeah, it's kind of just dreary, kind of dark all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just, seasonal, whatever, it's darker more often, people just, don't feel right.
Matilda will step out from behind Art, be like, if we wanted to find the sheriff, where would he be?
I believe he's in the town. I think Deputy Finn and he are kind of keeping an eye on things. They called up extra law enforcement because I guess there's going to be some kind of big international to-do here shortly with Dr. Mallon's research. And I mean, I feel bad now because I haven't actually met him, and I'm already spreading rumors about him, and Harry would be so disappointed in me. Don't tell Harry that I was suspicious of him, please.
Also, anything you tell us, we can keep to ourselves.
Okay. I love Harry. Why did I... Oh, God.
It's fine. Just have a nice day.
Oh, have a great day. Oh.
You've been a great help. Thank you.
She just kind of bites her knuckles I can't believe I just said that.
All of these NPCs are amazing. I want entire seasons about each NPC. I love them all. Alright, to the van, I guess?
Well,
The
fellow
van.
cafeteria lady, I know we need cafeteria supplies. Should we go get them? Boy, we could sure use the help of an intern and someone with technical knowledge, because our van, the spark plug on the van is broken. So, Manuel, could you help us fix that?
We carpool, right? You don't need to
I mean,
explain why
we're
we're
already
all
on
in
the clock.
same
We need a reason.
car.
Anyway, let's go. Thanks, Elsa. If anyone asks about us, tell them we're getting cafeteria materials. Goodbye.
She nods. As you guys head out to the van, the darkness is spreading. It's midday, but it's kind of getting dimmer and dimmer outside. The sparkle of the sun that you saw in the very early morning as you were ice fishing fades away, and all of the snow around you turns kind of like a dull hue of a mauve, kind of purple. The sparkle is gone, and everything becomes matte and flat, and it's almost like you're surrounded by a watercolor painting as all of the light fades and everything just becomes different hues of blues and purples and blacks. You're looking over the village, which is illuminated. All of the little houses with the red roofs and pointed steeples have beautiful, glowing candlelight kind of throbbing out of the windows and creating a little nice glow from below. Your van is still there. It has the beach scene on the front of it, on the windshield that you had spread out. As you guys are walking towards the van, you do see a lot of people in the town below are gathering in the town square. And you see a lot of bodies and things moving around on there as people are congregating for something. So you see a lot of activity happening below. You also see the poles that have the caution tape that the deputy had put out earlier. Those have been put all along the entry to the Svalbard Seed Vault. So it seems like this whole area has now become kind of a caution area, though you're not sure why. It wasn't there when you went into the building. But I think that'll be just a nice, mysterious pause to take a quick bio break. So I think we'll be... Go ahead.
Before we break, I do just have one question.
Yeah.
Given that Art is a con man, would he have access to, like, fake badges for, like, some...
I think so.
International police force, like Interpol or something?
I think so. I think that's way within the realm of possibility.
We also have, as one of our agency resources, cover identities.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think those two things combined means you had one from before and you got a new one. But yeah, absolutely. Let's take a quick break. Are you guys okay with like a 5-minute break so that we can come back and finish up by noon? Sorry, I tried to break us earlier, but I was like very into what was happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So stick with us, everybody. We're going to be back in 5 minutes, and we'll see you then.
And 5.
Hello, Internet. We're back. As we last left off, our monster hunters had found some information about definitely something funky in the vents at the Svalbard Seed Vault. And they also see that time is slipping onwards in the day here. And so for the purposes of the mechanics of the game, as the day shifts forward in time, more events happen either on screen or off screen, depending on where you are as characters. So as the day is shifting forward, something else has happened in the world now. Something else has changed. But you have your information, you're heading back to your van to regroup. And what do you do next, Monster Hunters, as you approach your van and kind of see the situation in front of you?
Everybody in the van, we need to plan. Inside, come on.
Yeah, Matilda will pull the door open and let everybody kind of usher in and do like the sort of like look around before she pulls it shut.
Not suspicious.
Nope.
You still see the empty crate that was airdropped to you earlier. It's in the snow next to the van, and some snow has piled up on top of it since you've gone into the seed vault.
Oh yeah, Manuel, remember when you almost died?
That was literally like an hour ago.
Yep. Time flies. Anyway,
Goodness.
over here. Okay. I'm pretty sure that what's going on here is that, you know how there are people that have been disappearing, like in the lake? You know, like falling under the ice and drowning and stuff? Well, and
They're turning into
James
corn
gonna
people?
What?
They're turning into corn people?
Yeah, so she's gonna pull out some red thread and she's gonna, like, start connecting things like a conspiracy meme like that. Yes, so Manuel, yes, they're turning into corn people. So Dr. Malin is researching corn genetics that can make them be more productive, right? Or more nutritious, based on the papers you saw?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And Agent Jones, what you heard back from the people is that this is not, like, normal or what they even expected, right? That this is, like, something even bigger than that. So this has to be something that was secret to the lab itself. Like, Dr. Malin was just going off on her own, making crazy corn stuff, and now there are corn zombies in the vents. We have to keep them from getting into the town.
What if Dr. Mallory is secretly evil? I know I'm not
Pretty openly evil. I'm pretty sure that she really is. I need a cigarette. I'm sorry. 1 second. I'm pretty sure she's evil for real. Not on purpose, just from a science perspective.
Yeah, well, you know, this seems fairly unethical, creating corn men.
Children of the corn, if you will.
I think those were just like kids.
I didn't watch it. I don't know what it is. Okay, we're going to go to Walgreens. We're going to get a copy of Children of the Corn. We're going to get fungicide, and we're going to get a bunch of water guns, water pistols, and load them up with fungicide and get ready to fight.
we should probably get some masks too, right? I don't know much about mushrooms, but I know at least it can get pretty dusty.
Respirators might be a good idea.
Very good. Yes, both of you. Good call on that, certainly.
Maybe just gloves.
Matilda will kick
micro
over
gloves.
like a crate that is in the van that is full of weird tech gadgets.
Mm-hmm.
And just be like, might be something in there. I don't know what half that stuff is.
Oh, okay, let's have a look.
You're using your agency ability to get the gadgets?
It is an agency resource.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
And while they're doing that, she'll be at like her little screen, or I guess, so one of the other things the van has is surveillance gear. So I imagine there's probably like a bunch of screens set up, and she's just kind of like ticking through, like looking at the different screens, trying to see if there's anything happening.
And where are you looking in particular on your surveillance? Oh, half. Oh, wait. I was going to say half the cameras are out, but I forgot that Manuel fixed them. So, yes, the cameras are fine.
I'm trying to think where she would have been able to set up cameras. That probably would have been like the first thing she did when she arrived. So if she was able to get them in the lab or near the lab or near the vents, I think she would be looking at those. Guess I could have been setting these up the whole time when we were doing all of these things.
I would say it's probably up to Art and Manuel on where they think they were able to get you access. Because I think both of them could feasibly have a good excuse to be in different areas that you shouldn't be normally unless you are on some kind of soup mission like you were today. But yeah, where do you guys think you have cameras posted or have been able to get cameras posted?
Definitely, like,
I mean, I think the standard areas that we could all get to anyway: reception, cafeteria, hallways, outside the bathroom. And I think Art may have been able to get like one camera inside the actual like vault behind the door, but I mean, I don't think they would have even really had that much of a chance to go back there.
Yeah, and you guys
Even
haven't
with
been in the
their-
vault itself yet. So you went past that freezer burn door into the lab area, and then the vault area was even beyond that, where they get their samples from and whatnot. So you haven't even been back in that area with your lack of clearance.
Yeah, I think I've been into the lab area like once or twice, able to get like a camera or two set up. Like maybe one in like the hallway and one in a lab room, but that's...
What do you think,
Probably.
Manuel, with your electrical background? Are you thinking anything special about that?
I was thinking beyond all of the stuff that Art mentioned. There are probably like various like electrical okay, I'm gonna do my best to make this make sense. I'm not an electrician myself. But like I'm sure there's like wiring the wall, like we need ways to access them, and like there's maybe even like some sort of like breaker panels in like a room, like those whatever are in those like janitorial rooms with like all of the electricity stuff. There might even be like catwalks in the walls to get to like the higher up wiring in the ceiling and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds cool to me.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like, so are you thinking that you had access to these electrical spaces in the walls of the caves and that you kind of have a backstage pass with a camera?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That'd be cool. What room do you think that that's in?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does Svalbard have its own surveillance system? Like security?
In the office.
Is it possible Manuel set up our camera to be in their room with like a view of all of their
Yeah.
screens?
Like facing their
Ooh.
TVs.
A little
Yeah.
Inception type thing?
That's interesting. I love it. Let's do a retcon act under pressure, Manuel, to see how well that mission went for you.
Okay.
To see where your camera is.
All right. I'm not the coolest, but I'm pretty cool.
You're pretty explosive.
Heck yeah. I got an 11.
Ooh, then yes, you absolutely can have that. Manuel was successful in that mission. So you're kind of seeing like the mirror of like the cameras, like your camera's looking at their cameras.
Yeah, like their screens, their own setup. Yeah.
Nice. Yes. So Matilda's looking at that. I got mentally lost in the wind up to the camera situation. So what else was happening in the van? Because I lost track of that part. I apologize. Other than looking at the cameras.
She had kicked over a chest or like a crate of weird tech gadgets.
Gotcha. Okay. So why don't How about Manuel and Matilda, if you're okay with it for the cameras scene? And then JD and Art, are you guys okay with picking out the tech and equipment? Cool. So with the tech and equipment, let's start there. What do you find in this box from E.D.E.N?
Are there, the little robots they use to, like, investigate earthquakes? They're little, like, kind of little crabs or little dogs that can go, like, places and you can control them.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of those in there? Little robot crab?
Yeah, I think so. You guys picked good quality equipment, right? Like, I don't remember. Did you end up having good ones or, like, kind of bad ones?
Wasn't budget cuts one of the...
Yeah, what's your downside for your agency?
Oh.
Cryptic missions and take no prisoners.
Okay.
As well as the weird tech gadgets and cover identities. But we had kind of narratively established that Rector Mendez was kind of intentionally giving Matilda all the bullshit because he sucks. And she was kind of like sabotaging the mission a little bit.
Yep. That's probably why you got the weird measuring tool, like not like a tier 1 tool for a job.
Not like an exploding pen, like a ruler.
Here, you like numbers. Okay,
so maybe it's like a Walmart brand RoboCrab.
Okay, so the RoboCrab. What if we had it always have to have a roll to use it? Like an act under pressure roll for its success. Does that sound fair?
That sounds totally fair.
Okay. So the RoboCrab with the act under pressure roll. What else is in there?
I think just something that might be useful here is some form of maybe jacket concealable flamethrower. Hey, it's a plant person. It's probably flammable, right?
Jacket concealable flamethrower. Okay. What powers it? How much fuel does it have?
I think due to the nature of it and how big flamethrowers are normally, it has like one shot, basically.
You want to give yourself one shot?
One shot.
All right. Love it. So that's
and it's still probably pretty big. It's still probably like jacket concealable.
So I put Hail Mary flamethrower.
Jacket. Yeah.
Cool.
Big and still pretty big and one shot.
Can I add... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Manuel.
Sorry, I was gonna say, what if it is the jacket? Like, the fuel is being stored in the jacket, and you gotta, like, press a button somewhere that just, like...
It's like a...
And then if I get shot, or it gets too hot or anything, my jacket just bursts into flames.
I love this.
It'll be totally fine, don't worry.
It's never gonna come up again.
Add a fire extinguisher to the list.
I love this. All right, let's get one more item in there. And then did you guys want gas masks or something?
I was gonna say that was the pretense that she shoved this over for, and then they started calling out robot dogs and flamethrowers.
That is also important. Gas masks would be great.
Yeah, like respirators.
That really checks out though, because Matilda was like, I don't know what's in here, and kicks it over and assumes it's gas masks, and you pull out the weirdest shit from this box. All right, so we'll give you the respirators as a freebie. What's one other item that you get out of there?
I have 4 ideas, so you guys rate them accordingly. Microphone pen, turkey baster, pocket fire extinguisher to match the coat, or extra warm socks.
My idea is something like the radar from Alien. Like the little handheld motion sensor or whatever, since this thing's in the vents.
Seems great. That sounds great to me.
I'm really attached to extra warm socks.
Maybe we can find them at Walgreens.
Says the Mundane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
God.
gonna
Socks
go
are
to
nice.
there, so yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Socks
we
are
can buy a
nice.
turkey baster at
Information is
Walgreens. It
better.
doesn't have to be a gadget.
I mean, yeah, this is where we're picking out gadgets. Are extra warm socks a gadget? Or could we just find them at the local...
They could be specially
they're a
extra
gadget.
warm.
I was thinking to help us with cold rolls, potentially, but... radar for aliens is also excellent.
What do you guys think? What's your last item?
Well, radar from, like, a motion sense. It doesn't specifically detect aliens. That would be...
Well,
All right. So
Come
we
on,
have
we gotta be able
the
to throw it off somehow.
alien type motion detector, the flamethrower jacket, powered concealable flamethrower, and a robo crab that's notoriously unreliable, potentially.
yes.
Awesome. So that's what you guys find in the crate as you kind of take out those items, divvy them up, make sure they're in good working order. As they're doing this, Manuel and Matilda, you're looking on the cams. Manuel, your phone kind of blinks in your pocket as a text message.
Who's it from?
It is from your wife, Karina, and she sends you a bunch of pictures of your son, Kalevi, who is ice skating. He's got like rosy cheeks in the winter, and he's just skating around the rink in your backyard at home. Because you guys are used to the cold, right? You're from a cold area? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then she sends you some more photos of Kalevi. Like, it seems that you've missed a birthday party recently. So she sent you a lot of pictures from his birthday. You're here for months at a time. So you have a lot of these milestones that are kind of passing you by. And she follows up with one more text, and it says, I hope you get my package in the mail soon. Miss you.
Oh. I'll send back "miss you too" with a couple hearts. I'll try to sneakily send a picture of the robot crab to my wife and be like, don't tell him, but I'm gonna see if I can get him something cool for as a souvenir.
You have kind of that side angle picture of the crab, and in the background you see JD and Art like talking about all the items. That sends through, and your wife sends a text back.
Flamethrower jacket, like, how would this not be useful?
There's just like the animated faces of them like, ah! She writes back, that would be amazing. Make sure it's not dangerous, please.
Of course.
She sends back a few emojis and says, I hope we can have our call tonight. Normal time?
It's probably like the dots of me typing being like, oh shit, I forgot. I was too wrapped up in the fun little thing. I'll quickly whisper to everyone, hey guys, when were we actually planning on breaking in? It was gonna be pretty late, right? Like midnight?
Midnight sounds good. Classic time.
All right. And then I said, yeah, normal time, exclamation point.
She says, great, don't be late. Kalevi wants to talk to you.
I won't. More emojis.
So as this conversation wraps up, Matilda, you can call Manuel's attention back to the cams. What camera would you like to focus on for this scene?
I guess the lab. Yeah, whichever lab Art was able to get the camera into.
Do you guys think there would be a camera in the seed vaults itself? Not your camera, but like their camera.
their camera probably, right?
I think their camera probably, yeah.
So you do have that accessible
Okay, so
to you
yeah.
too.
Maybe we'll look at their screens of the seed vault.
So, and yeah, that was not to railroad you. I actually, you could look at any of the cameras, but I just wanted to know if it even exists. So yeah. So for the seed vault cam, this is an area that you haven't physically been in yourselves. It's guarded even more so. There's another detox chamber kind of going into it, and then another set of guards posted there. So it's kind of interesting to see kind of within the confines of it. There's row after row of almost like archival shelves that are ceiling high, and all of these shelves are filled with boxes and crates containing seeds from all over the world. These samples had been sent here for storage. The boxes all look very different, so they're kind of wrapped in whatever the country decided to send over for their sample. So you see like different languages printed on all of the boxes, different sizes. Some more affluent countries were able to send more samples. It's not really indicative of like what's there. It's just how many resources they set aside for this project. So you see countries that are like very concerned about their legacy, sending all of these rows and rows and rows and rows of seeds. And then a few countries have empty shelves or just one small like Amazon type package that's just sitting there. But that's kind of the backdrop. You do see the front door to this area. It's one of those sliding doors. There's ice all along the walls. And you see in the corner a little bit of movement, kind of like around one of the shelving, like if it's like at the end of the row, like the furthest away from the camera, kind of around the corner, you see kind of like a bit of movement, and then one of the boxes tips and falls onto the ground. And you see some vials kind of clattering out of the box, but there's no other movement in the room.
And there's no people, I'm assuming.
You don't see any people in here, no.
Are we able to see the label on the box that tipped over, or like on a box that's nearby?
If you enhance.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And I think in this one maybe it's like a click drag.
Enhance as Matilda
Like a little
enhances.
magnifying glass that she clicks a couple times.
Is this on your iPad that you're doing this?
No, yeah, there's like a computer terminal in there. Man.
Yes, you can see that it has on the side just the last. Well, it's kind of like tipped over the box, but it says Sterdam on the side.
Sterdam. Oh.
As an AM? Just the Sterdam?
Written on the side of the box, yeah. It's cut off. You can't really see the rest of it.
I wonder what other cities end with Sterdam.
So call it together to see the screen. I take like a screenshot, like a little recording. Send it to...
like a Vine.
Yeah.
You take a picture of the screen with your iPad.
Director Mendez writes back immediately, says, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, she'll take like a little, she'll rewind the video and make like a little snippet, send it off.
Director Mendez writes back and says, "Is this live footage from where you are?"
Like affirmative.
So you're in the room and can investigate?
Oh, I thought she meant where we were. No, we're not in the vault, but we plan to go there tonight. I guess we hadn't. We can be there shortly. That's what she says back.
She writes back, "Okay, just got word that global or international ships are departing from Svalbard, setting sail tomorrow evening. Please," or she wouldn't say please. secure samples and find out what the hell is going on before then.
She said they're leaving tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow evening.
Okay. She'll just reply yes, director.
As the
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Just to say, she'll turn to the group and just be like, "We're on a timeline now. We have until tomorrow evening."
Oh, we'll be fine. Going to Rite Aid only takes like half an hour.
Yeah, but it always takes longer than you think because you end up buying more than you expect.
It's so true. Those seasonal little candies and such. Anyways, should we go see what's happening with the international whatever the heck first?
We can talk to the ratty sheriff.
Yes, we can. I have a bad
Although
feeling.
you like rats, right? So.
I don't know if we want him to know we exist, but I guess yeah. Let's go talk to him.
In the van, on top of all of these security cameras, there's a lot of kind of this area's Rite Aid branded knickknacks. So there's like little moose bobbleheads kind of like moosing around on the top of all of the security cameras. I will say, as you guys continue surveilling the seed vault, there's no more movement in it for quite some time. You eventually see the door open, probably like 20 minutes later, and Harry walks in. He is kind of on a mission in one of the aisles, and he goes to like open up one of the crates, and like he's checking on samples and checking things off on a clipboard, puts the crate away, but then he sees the fallen seeds. And goes over and like picks up the side of the crate and looks at it. And as he picks it up, he does reveal that it does say Amsterdam in full on the side. And he takes out a smaller notebook from his pocket and he's like rifling through his notes. And he begins to like count the vials in the crate. And he goes back to his smaller notebook and makes some notes, counts them again, scratches his head, holds up some empty vials, which had fallen out of the crate, like kind of like all of the crate spilled off screen to you, like it was like behind that bookshelf type apparatus, so you couldn't really see. But it appears from what you're reading on his body language that there are things missing from this crate, and that from what you can tell, he's like counting out spaces. There had been things missing before, and that he's like tallying up new missing things from this crate. He sets it back on the shelf and is just scratching his head. And on the camera, you hear in the walls doom, 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 noises, echoing in the vents, getting closer. He looks around at the noise, and the camera goes dark and turns to static.
Sorry, no.
Okay, we got respirators, we got gloves, right? We got that here, we got our stuff. I don't think we can wait.
What? We don't have any weapons that can kill this thing. I mean, we can't cut it because it'll.
I mean, we have fire. Oh god, it was.
Fireworks.
What if we go to Walgreens really quick?
Okay, speed run Walgreens. Let's go. Go team. Man,
Are we getting weapons at Walgreens?
Yes, weapons at Walgreens. And JD's gonna
Where are
like
we gonna
stand
get?
back
Insect-
and he's gonna start
like
setting up like, a
fungicide?
mobile lab, I guess.
Yeah, and Matilda will kind of like bang on a panel on the side of the van, and like a door will flap open with like a big crash, and you can see she has stashed there a hunting rifle and a grenade launcher.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow. I like hold up my pocket knife.
No, not that! We can't. Don't remember not to cut it, please, God, Manuel. It's gonna make it worse. Manuel, drive. Let's go.
Okay, I'll take the wheel.
Manuel, take the
I'll-
wheel.
I'll floor it and hope we don't get pulled over by any cops.
So you're
Are we actually going to the Rite Aid?
We need fungicide, right?
Right aid, quickly.
Oh, I thought JD was making
drugstore.
it. All the
she's
chemicals
she's still
stole.
missing some basic ingredients. So is that the will of the party to head to town?
We split the party.
What if we just say
Yeah.
fuck it and go rescue Harry?
Okay, let's go.
I really just want to say fuck it and go rescue Harry.
Let's go. Let's
but
fuck it and go
also
rescue Harry.
are not really prepared.
Yes, Manuel, let's
What's the
go.
worst that could happen?
Harry.
Okay.
What could go wrong? Let's go.
Is there a gas can in the car? In the van?
Like extra gas for the van?
Yeah.
Better not be inside the van.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in the van.
Yeah, wherever you guys would want to keep your supplies. You do have room at the
Yeah,
inn.
in the van.
You definitely have a room at the inn where you're
I'm
staying.
asking to see if we have it accessible now, so that we at least don't only have one source of fire that is one use.
I don't know if fire and a seed vault that is at negative 18 Celsius are the best companions.
Yeah, well, we gotta go now.
So I'll
We
give
have to go now, then we have to go now.
I'll give the
Do
party
it.
a formal choice here, from what I'm hearing you guys are interested in.
For panic.
Yeah, I'll formalize the panic. So you do have a choice here. You can re-enter the seed vault and address what you saw on the cameras. You will be short some things that you have correctly identified as useful tools. You can also let that go for now and continue investigating and equipping yourselves in town is kind of the next logical point where that storyline continues. You can split the party. So those are kind of the current paths, or something sandboxy that you'd like to do instead.
Actually, do I have Harry's phone number? Because I know I
You
gave
do?
him mine.
Yeah,
But
you
can I
exchange
call
it.
him?
You can. Do you call him?
Yeah, I call him right now.
Your phone rings, and it picks up, and then you hear, "Hello, this is Harry. Almost PhD, almost Dr. Harry. Is this awkward? You can leave a message. I'll get back to you. I'm busy these days, so if I don't get back to you soon, don't worry about me. I'm fine. Beep."
He's not picking up. We need to go check he's okay.
Even if we don't get rid of this thing now, we can at least get people knowing about it and get them to clear out so that it's safe.
And we can get the seeds from Amsterdam at the mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
The seats.
Okay, let's avoid fighting it if we can, because I don't think we have what we need to beat
You
it
think
right
we can go
now.
through the vents instead of getting through the security door?
Yes, let's go. We're going to go
Okay,
tell
okay.
Elsa.
Well,
that
we could
it's
get
a
through the
problem. That's way
security
we can-
door, I think, with these, and I'll pull out the Interpol badges for our fake identities.
But they know our faces would have to do makeup and stuff.
No, we explained we've been Interpol this whole time.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Is this what our agency does? Anytime shit hits the fan, we're like, oh, we're Interpol. No,
Yeah.
we're not Eden.
Yeah, no, we're Interpol.
No, we
just hurt each other.
I'm sure that Elsa will be worried about Harry. We tell her there's a problem, to have the guards let her in and make sure they're fine. Meanwhile, we use the vent under her desk and sprint over there.
I don't want to crawl through that. I thought I told you. There's the corn stuff, of course, and there was a finger.
Let's bluff our way through the entrance with the fancy,
Yeah,
right?
listen,
the fancy that works,
listen,
right?
between
No, let's not
these-
Harry, gentlemen. Come on.
Listen, I don't want to sound too tooting my own horn, I guess, here, but between me and these, I think we
Harry
can get
Potter's
into the
planning
vault.
everywhere.
Let's just go, okay? Harry's in trouble.
Come on,
Alright.
get out to the fucking van.
Yeah, I'll just like
Go.
throw everyone
Bye.
the badges. Whether they want to use them or not, they have them.
What are your Interpol names on your badges?
I don't think there's an actual cover name for art, it's just art. Art, last name and Steam.
I think hers is gonna be really something incongruous, like Klowski or something. Like.
I think mine is Jack McGregor.
Nice.
Mine is Jolise Dolise.
I love it. So yes, you all receive these badges. Monster hunters, what do you do?
Run back in.
Yeah, run back in,
Sprinting.
sprinting through, trying to get to the security door.
All right, so as you run in through the atrium, you see Elsa greeting you like, hello, ooh, as you guys just sprint past.
Might wanna get out.
You tell her to
The
get out?
rats. Yeah. So the rats are big, and
What?
you might want to get out. Just go back to the town, okay? Just go back to town.
Now? I'm on shift!
Yes. No. Trust me, we have the authority to do this.
Manipulate
back to
someone.
town,
Roll
okay?
plus charm.
All right. And because I can just ask this, what can I do to make her do what I want?
You can... Let me just see the caveat on that one.
It is not always complete.
Okay. Truthful but not always complete. To make her do what you
To make her
want,
leave.
you can tell her that Harry told her that there's a surprise in town for her, and that he's going to be meeting her there. That's really the only thing that would get her to leave work early.
We very well may be dead. Okay, let me just see what I get on my roll before I tell her that. Ah!
Is that a good
No.
You feel the coin
I-
pulse in your pocket.
Yeah, and it pulses.
Do you use it?
It pulses, yep. Gonna burn a luck for
Go ahead
that
and-
nice 12.
Your roll 8able? Is it like a 5? Like a 6? We can make it a 7?
Nope. Make eyes. Again.
Dude.
So you spend that luck point. Go ahead and mark it off your sheet. You have one left?
I have 2 left because my coin also counts as a luck point.
Oh, nice.
The coin itself.
Nice. So you rolled a 12 on this. So it says they must act under... Oh, interesting. They must act under pressure to resist your request. If they do what you ask, they mark 1 experience. Oh, that's... Sorry. That's for players. I was like, what? Why am I rolling?
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah, on
rewind.
a 12, not only do they do what you want right now, but they also become your ally.
Oh, that's how you guys got an ally in the last one. Yes.
Yeah.
So they
But,
also become your ally for
I
the
don't
rest
want
of the
her
mystery.
to be my ally. I just want her to get out of here.
Well, allies will do what you want, kind of no questions in the future, so you won't need to burn rolls and stuff on them.
Should say you're at fungicide, just saying.
Send her on a shopping errand.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. That's awesome.
So what do you want her to do?
Well,
I want her to go back to town, go back to her home or whatever, and just wait.
Okay. No
Just hold
fungicide.
tight. No, I'm not telling her to go get fungicide.
Okay. Do you tell her about Harry, or how do you convince her?
I think I'll go. Okay. I don't really have time to explain because this is a very urgent situation. But basically, there's a biohazard. Everyone needs to get out as soon as possible.
Everyone? Are you rolling for...
Everyone.
Is this roll for everyone? Do you want her to, like, set an alarm? Or do you want her to leave personally?
Just her to leave personally for now. But if I see anyone, I will also tell them this.
Okay, so
same shtick.
So Elsa does what you
And
want
I
right
have
now.
the respirator on currently.
Oh, okay.
as such.
So she looks really alarmed because you look like you're preparing for something that she was not aware is happening. So according to this roll, she'll do what you want right now and also become your ally for the rest of the mystery. So Art, you at first kind of terrified her when you came up to do this, and the respirator's on and you're kind of just like wildly gesticulating and your team is running past behind you and she's a little terrified. And so at first she's not moving at all. And then she even seems like kind of resistant to listening to you. She keeps saying like, but I'm at shift, I'm at work. And you feel the coin in your pocket heat up again. And this time it pulses and the blood kind of fills in all the crevices. But the metal itself heats up and you feel it start to like burn through your shirt onto your skin. And you kind of feel it begin to brand the skin underneath where it rests in your pocket. She kind of like a little bit of like kind of hazy red energy kind of pulses around her for a moment. And she like shakes her head dazed and says, no, you're right. Oh my gosh, I'm leaving right now. I'm on my way. And she starts to just quickly gather her things and pack them up. And she begins to just dash out the door. She has like one shoe that's like her snow boot, and the other shoe is like her high heel for work. And she's just like trying to jump and like put on the shoe as she's running. And she's like, I'll be at home. Be careful. I'll stay there until I hear word. Goodbye, fellow city person. And she just runs out the door. As using your luck point has drawn someone from your past closer to you, behind, like your eyes close for a moment, and behind your eyelids you see Orwell's face. It's like his profile behind some bars of the prison where you put him from your actions the last time you were together. And he turns and he looks through the bars, and you just see the glint in his eye. It's like the glint of a coin being flipped up in the air. And he smiles slowly out of the corner of his mouth, and he just says, well, hello, old friend. And then you open your eyes, and you're back in the atrium.
I think the flavor of the red in the eyes before this, maybe just a little, you can see a little red coming, just a little dribble of red coming down.
From your mouth?
From under the respirator, yeah.
Yeah, and from your ears as well. But Elsa is gone to safety down in the town. And you continue your dash forward, Monster Hunters?
Yeah.
No need to interrogate that right now. We'll talk about that later. Let's go.
And Matilda's got 2 duffel bags that are just filled with all the supplies we mentioned before, including her grenade launcher. Sprinting.
Badass.
Yeah, she's practiced this sprint before.
So tell me how far you'd like to continue through this. Do you want to just keep like dead on going towards the back, or are you taking any side trips?
Side trips, maybe like poking ahead into like the cafeteria or places I know would have people in it to be like, hey, get out, biohazard.
Okay.
Let's watch for Stu Baby, because we're gonna need to get into the vault. Can he get in? Do we know? Does he have access to get in?
To the seed vault?
That's how we got it.
Well,
I was just gonna grapple the security guards and like make them open it.
I was gonna show them the badge.
Yeah, that's fine. We can get in. We're fine. We're okay.
okay.
So are you telling other people to evacuate in the cafeteria?
Just screaming as we run in the hall. Everyone get out! This is a biohazard cafeteria emergency!
Give me a manipulate roll, JD, as you're yelling into the cafeteria.
Things that all make sense. See, it all makes sense.
You can.
The dihydrogen monoxide is interacting with the sodium chloride. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I know you won't believe me, but I literally got double 6s.
Nice! That's awesome! So on a 12 plus, they do what you want and they also become your ally for the rest of the mystery. So you currently have most of the staff of Svalbard as your allies, and they're also all leaving Svalbard. So they're like, they all look up from their soup and they're like, I don't get paid enough for this. They didn't even announce anything. God damn it. And they all just start like throwing down their silverware. and heading out of the place. And some of them are like calling loved ones and texting, and it's just kind of this mass exodus down the hallway.
I'm just glad they're safe.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, something that I should probably do is here. Before we go confront the security guards, pass me your badges real quick. I need to add something on that will make this line make sense, and I'll just tag on, like, making it look official, of course. Just tag on CBRN.
What's CBRN?
For chemical, biological, radioactive, and I forget what N is, but it's
Nuclear?
you know. That would be radioactive. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
Neat stuff.
Eat stuff.
Basically,
One word.
hazmat.
Nice. Yeah, and with your we could say you had.
Oh, it's radiological and nuclear.
Oh, I was right. Eat my dick, Art.
Yeah.
Well done, intern. Good job. Let's go.
Yep. So that's not a problem. So you all, as you're kind of clearing out this area of your allies, they all yell over their shoulder, "If you need anything, let me know. Thanks for the tip," as they're running away. So you do have them allied with you and all evacuating to the town below, where you also saw some gathering in the town below. So they'll find out what's going on down there as they approach. But you guys are headed to the back of the area in front of the labs where you encountered the guards before. You do need a badge. I think since they're all your allies, I would assume someone could swipe you in, like Stew Baby style. You don't see Stew Baby here, but you know, someone with access can swipe you in because you made a lot of allies with that role of just everyone like, thanks, bye. So someone can give you access to that back area where the guards are. So as the doors open, you see the hall. This is the freezer burn area where everything is just ice crystals. It even crunches under your feet, under your boots as you walk into this area. You see both guards, Carla and Fresco, and they both have their guns drawn. And they are like in the process of looking around, kind of like up into the walls. And as you step in, they're like, shh, shh. And they're just standing there. And Carla's like, get the fuck out of here. And to you guys, and Fresco's like, where did it go?
Really, we're here. We know what's going on. We're trained in this.
Good job.
You go. We can deal with this.
Roll manipulate.
I'll flash the badge.
The why did I say UNESCO in my head? Interpol. The Interpol badge?
Yeah.
Okay, so Carla looks at it and she's like, what? You're the intern. Roll manipulate someone.
All right, and what will convince this person to do what I want, which in this case is believe us and get out.
That you can do their job better than they can.
Also, maybe they leave their stuff behind.
All right. Well, that's 7.
A 7. On a 7, they'll do it, but only if you do something right now to show that you mean it. Carla will say, like, I'll only get out if you can shoot that thing, whatever the fuck it was, dead right now. Like, we're under attack right now. I don't have time for this.
It doesn't really hurt. That's part of the issue.
What did you say?
I said gunfire doesn't really hurt it. That's
She's
part of the
like-
issue. That's my. I can't. I have something to. We have the tools to deal with it, but we really don't want to waste it
Does Matilda say something as well?
for a test fire.
I think Matilda. Wait, do we? I just out of care. Do we know that gunfire doesn't hurt it? We learned
That's
that.
what
A
we're
scalpel
assuming
cutting?
based on the fact that cutting it doesn't work and in fact makes things worse.
Manuel will pipe up. If anything, run down and like bring all the fungicide you got.
Carla
Just bring.
looks at Manuel and says, who are you people? Fungicide? We're dealing with an active threat right now. I'm not gonna garden.
very long and complicated to explain, but we need the fungicide, alright?
As you say that,
Police, the police! We need fungicide to fight this thing.
Carla seems really resistant to this, and she's like, "Stop distracting me!" And she's looking around with her weapon drawn. Fresco, who is again the summer kid with the summer job, he's more like, "Yeah, okay, like whatever it takes to get this out of my hair, because it was kind of scary looking." And as he's kind of open to listening to you, JD, he goes to reach for the badge to swipe in the lab door behind him. And the outstretched arm that has the badge on it, out of the vent above the door, sloughs through kind of a blob of flesh and fibrous plant material. And you see kind of like an eyeball that just drifts slowly through the goop as it slides through the grates of the vent. It's like a pudding-like consistency that just has kind of like fuzzy mold tendrils just like holding it together as it like drips and like dangles. Little like blood clots kind of like splat out onto the floor all around Fresco, and it falls onto his outstretched arm and kind of just wraps around it with this like gelatinous mass. And he goes, "What the?" And as he looks at it, it just kind of begins to crawl up and over him, and like a jello begins to envelop him.
Can I yell at him to get out of there? Back up.
As Manuel, you yell, his eyes are wide and he's like, "Yeah, man, totally." And he like tries to back up, and it is just on his body, and it goes into his open mouth and starts to like gelatinously go down his throat. The eyeball itself kind of just protrudes out of his mouth, and it's like dangling from his sinew as he's like, "Wah, wah!" And you start to see the mold fuzz out of his eyes as his eyes kind of like a petri dish just glaze over with white mold. And Fresco is kind of standing there like a puppet dangling from the end of a string, not alive anymore, not quite dead. And more of this ooze begins to drip out of the vents all around you. And that is where we will pick up on our next session.
Oh no!
Oh, that is terrifying, and I love
Oh
it.
no.
Harry's dead.
Dude, if his eyeball, I will never forgive you, Allison.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
If you break up Harry and Elsa.
Really? I think Allison's just making a bunch of really wonderful NPCs so she can murder them all.
It's okay if Elsa also gets eaten. They'll be together.
No!
Well, you don't know what happened to Harry, and you guys are badass monster hunters. I have full faith in you to handle this situation.
Fire.
So
Lots
good.
of fire.
We should have gone to Walgreens, you guys! What were we doing?
We needed to save Harry.
Well, they would have died anyway. They probably would have both been dead then.
Exactly! So, we could have gone to Walgreens, it would have made a difference.
There's still one person alive.
You're gonna burn a bunch of seeds? Oh my god, okay. We
Yeah,
did
I'm
everything
going to
out,
burn a
though.
bunch of
We did
seeds.
tell everyone else to evacuate, which I consider an absolute win.
I'm trying to recall if part of our mission was to keep this all quiet or not.
You did get a
That's part
text
of
that
every
there's
mission, right?
there's a global event, and there's a lot of like international stakes in the seeds here. So you were told not to cause international trouble. I'm sure you guys
Might
are
be
doing
hard.
We're gonna get fired.
good. Oh gosh.
Oh god. I hope I get to call Karina.
I love
Well, I
this.
swear to God, if you die before you get to call Karina, I will riot.
I'm so excited to pick this up in 2 weeks' time. We'll be back on, let's just confirm the date, January 2nd. So we will kick off the new year right by having our Monster Hunters kick some butt. And yeah, so excited that you all could join us. Again, the stream has bi-weekly RPGs on Sunday. They're usually mini RPGs, so like 3 shots. This is our second Monster of the Week one. But yeah, we kind of have recurring characters. We're building like a little universe here. So definitely some big lore building across campaigns. So definitely follow if you want to keep connected with us. And yeah, thanks so much to the players for being awesome. I'm so excited to find out what happens next. Also, as a reminder to myself, because I'll probably watch this again just to prepare for next session, but you did send a bunch of folks down to the town. So that's kind of happening off screen. And we'll pick up again in the kind of entryway to the lab as all of this nasty is happening, and I'm so excited for it. So yes, happy holidays to everyone, and I think we can end the episode before it goes to credits with like everyone's like badass pose, like as your character. Like, how does this episode end as like you see this happen to Fresco? What's your character doing? Let's start with Matilda.
I think she has just finished tossing out the gas masks to everybody. She's got her gas mask on. Of course, she's still got her like mirrored aviators on. I think she maybe has like her grenade launcher slung across her back. And I guess she'll have her knife out. Maybe we'll have to like fungicide the knife next time. But yeah, she'll kind of like have it out like in front of her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Total badass. What about JD?
JD's got that gas mask on, just like slinging on her face, and her hair's like poofing out the sides of it. And she's starting to like lift up her hands like she's gonna do some magic. She's just like ready to like fuck up this fungus.
Heck yeah. Crazy, intense magic infused Miss Frizzle energy. I love it. Awesome. What about Art?
I think is just pulling out like a lighter to act as like the pilot light for and like kind of lining it up with the barrel of or whatever for the flamethrower.
Awesome. And the fuel, you see it like kind of like pumping through the entire coat because that's your fuel source. Awesome. Yeah. And also you kind of see the coin glowing red from your pocket too. Manuel, what are you doing?
I think you see Manuel with his fire axe under his arm, kind of fumbling for his phone, and then it zooms in and you see it's him texting Karina being like, I just want you to know that I love you.
Oh, so mundane. Oh my gosh. I love it. So it freeze frames on all of this. I love the mundane nature of the text message, but also the badassery. So our 4 monster hunters are freeze framed, and the title of the show comes up in an icy font and cracks and shatters, and the credits roll. And that's where we'll pick up next week. And if you'll stick around, or next week, 2 weeks from now, January 2nd. But if you'll stick around, I'll do a raid on someone else who's playing Monster of the Week, which is so cool. Love the Monster of the Week vibes. So that should be going through. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and thank you, players. And yeah, we'll see you next time.